on Twitch. Let me get us live on YouTube. And also, I've set the YouTube chat. I've set the... Okay, YouTube, if you can hear us, we have set it to subscriber-only mode, specifically because everywhere in the world is getting fucking bots up the asshole.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So...
I love how Hubert and Dorothea have the exact same base stats, just that, like, Dorothea has 2 more HP, but, like, Hubert has 1 more, like, strength and magic.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, yeah, I mean, I get that it can turn away the YouTube chat a bit, but for the sake of my, sake of not getting flooded with bots, unfortunately, for the time being, we have to do specifically only sub only, at least until the bot situation on YouTube gets fucking resolved.
So everyone, take this as a reminder to hit like, comment, and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta be an active citizen, you have a choice.
It's been a long time since I said that spiel.
Yeah.
God, I need to get back to you.
I mean, yeah, fair. But anyway, welcome to more Fire Emblem Three Houses Ironman. As you can see here, we are about to start the Madrid ambush. And we are way over leveled for it because this is a level 5 mission and everyone in my party is level 8 or 9. Insane. I love it. Also, I need to check on my people. All of them have a class now? Yes, they do. Good. I was like, yeah, they're not all commoners or nobles anymore. Good. But... yeah, so... let us get started with the Madrid ambush. I also need to, after this chapter, actually change their costumes to look like they do regularly, because they're in their class sprites right now. Class costumes right now. Battle. Which I don't like. I always like them when they look like they're in their school uniform, post time skip designs, and not just whatever the class dictates for them.
Yeah.
I don't know why this game decided to do that.
I mean, I like that you have the option, because I do really like how certain classes look.
Yeah, there are some there are some people who look really cool in the hero garb.
Specifically,
yeah,
like the entire archer line just looks baller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I also really like how I wish he got the Plague Doctor mask when he went into Dark Mage, but eh.
That'd be cool, actually. Imagine.
Yeah, that is a little sad.
Yeah, imagine if
I don't know who it was that decided on a Plague Doctor mask for a Dark Mage, but whoever it was, I hope they're doing well.
It works.
It does.
Especially with how Dark Mages throughout the series have been associated with alchemy.
Oh yeah.
So
and also,
it has a lot of
also because like a lot of the dark magic spells have like sort of like names like related to just stuff like what am I trying to say here? Like just kind of like plague related things like I don't know. Like I can't think of a good example right now, but like you know what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a really cool aesthetic for a Dark Mage, and it's a nice step away from the usual like Plague Doctor idea in a fantasy game.
Yeah. All right, are we ready to kick this map's ass?
I'm
ready to watch.
I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see a first map game over.
With this fog.
I'm ready to see Leonardo spawn in with glitch stats, so he spawns in instead with Edelgard's endgame stats.
Wait, is that a thing?
No.
No.
Okay, I was about to
That's
say.
the joke.
That's the joke there. I was about to say if that could actually happen, that'd be cool.
Ready.
Imagine just getting like fucked because of that.
Dude, I finalized the concepts for the final map for my SRPG recently. And, yeah, boss rushes are fun.
Oh yeah.
They can be. They really can be.
I always love the final maps that are just boss rushes.
I mean, Verdant Wind, FE7, and Fates and Fates Revelation are my favorite final maps in the series for a reason.
I mean, that's fair. FE7 has a really cool final map. things
I,
to
I,
consider.
like, FE5's final map will be up there for me too if you didn't have to like. If the enemies weren't stupid and they actually would use the door keys they fucking have in their inventories to
Oh,
open
yeah.
the doors.
The-
like the freaking like the enemies actually do have door keys, but they're programmed to not move.
Honestly, I think the saddest part about a lot of the Kaga games is that they're all indoors. So, like in FE3 and FE5, you just have units that aren't at their full power in endgame.
I think the
I mean-
only outdoor final map in Fire Emblem Kaga era is FE4.
Yep.
That's
don't
only
need
by
it.
Kaga's design of FE4.
I mean, you don't need to be your full power to just like benefit from the person's movement star.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
fair.
but I'm just saying it kind of fucks with the like feel of a final map. And it's like, oh cool, I really wanted to use this unit, but
You either have to. The problem with Kaga era, like, with like Thracia as well, like with dismounting, is that lances get fucked over a minute. Like, tell me, in endgame, how many lance units do you really bring?
Would have to look in my my notes to tell you, but I bring in a few.
Well, good for you.
Using me as you will learn soon enough that use it like you will learn it eventually that using me as an example for this stuff does not work because I absolutely do.
Well, okay,
do
using
that stuff.
someone that isn't you for an example. Like,
there's someone who plays the game normally.
yeah, someone who plays the game normally.
I mean, like, I don't even know what fucking lance units are in Thracia. Because like
Finn-
Draco,
Finn-
yeah,
Finn,
Draco
yeah.
Knights are all
Yeah, like
Draco Knights, the Pegasi.
actually, I don't even think you
Finn.
can bring in any units in in the final map that can use lances.
Yeah.
Because, like, they always
promoted
use, like,
Dawson. But that's
Yes.
about it.
Dawson and Xavier. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, Dawson and Xavier. It's always the Armor Knights, and people don't really use Armor Knights.
Okay, Xavier is actually genuinely very good. In
He
FE5.
is, but
But
good luck
isn't he
getting
like
him.
the raddest of bastards to recruit?
Yeah,
He is.
Good luck
but
fucking
like,
recruiting him.
yeah, like he is like. Okay. I will say I will say that like the map is definitely designed around recruiting Xavier, because like why would have the shit in that chapter be the way it is if it wasn't? But like, I don't know.
It's still kind of ridiculous bullshit.
I would at the same time I wish we had more recruitments like that. Just like the most like off
Yeah.
the like ridiculous off the wall recruitments that like the entire map is built around.
I think like more intricate or interesting recruitments would be really cool, but I do think that everything I know about Xavier's is just 2 steps too far.
I can
You know what I
agree
mean?
with that.
I can.
Tempest.
The chapter 19 of FE12 can be like that too sometimes when you're trying to recruit Wolf, but it's a
I,
little bit better. It's a little bit better in that because like you don't have to deal with like really stupid like NPC movements.
oh yeah.
Mhm. I mean, now it would
It's
be better
almo-
if you just couldn't recruit Wolf, but that's besides the point.
Yeah. I was about to say. It would be better if you. A Kaga game. Hey Sean, great to see you in the chat.
Oh God, Sean's here. Fuck.
Yeah.
I
Hide your brain cells. He's gonna steal them.
what brain cells?
Yeah, exactly. What
You
the-
have a point, Del.
I mean, we have a combined 75% of a brain cell together.
True. All 3 of us.
Yeah, all 3 of us combined, like, a
Have
point.
about 75 and like 85% on a good day.
Yes. On a bad day, it's like 12%.
But yeah, I think God, I hate doing this again, but I think FE4 did a like more intricate recruitment really well with Hannibal.
Oh
No.
yeah.
The reward isn't
I don't know.
reward isn't really worth the mild hassle.
Also,
But like it is something you have to work for a little bit.
Like yes, but like that's just it. It's like it's not really it's just a mild hassle. It's not really like I don't know.
yeah.
It's still more intricate than just talk to someone, and it's not
Well, yeah, but it's like
as absurd as designing an entire map around recruiting one unit.
okay, but that's the thing. I want
mean,
the absurd things. That the map's
FE3
designed
did that
around.
as well with Sheena.
Yeah, like Sheena.
Sheena's
like,
another
that's
really cool example of it.
That's I still want something a little bit more like.
You just want units that
Involved.
everyone's going to miss their first 2 playthroughs.
I want something that feels a little bit more involved, basically.
Yeah, I can get that, Del. Also, Sean said if I were a Mind Flayer unconfirmed, I'd be fucking starving here, Chief.
That's real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking water, god damn it. Nobody loves you, Juvia.
What?
No, I'm kidding. I love you, Juvia. So fuck off. Get out of my mind shaft.
What the hell are you talking about?
Sorry, I'm talking to myself while I'm playing Minecraft.
Oh my god, of course. Of course.
And I was talking... Juvia's a water mage in Fairy Tail,
Oh.
so...
Oh, that's why we didn't get it. None of us watched Fairy Tail. We watched...
I've seen the first, like, 3 episodes, and that's it.
I mean, same, truthfully.
It gave off it gave off very, very strong One Piece vibes, so I was like, fuck this.
Yeah, it and One Piece took a lot of inspiration from each other during that time period when it was being written initially.
Yeah, which, I mean, I've got nothing against, like, shows like that. I just don't care for them myself.
You don't have... And also, you have to have a great patience from, like, One Piece.
I
Yeah.
will say
I feel
Fairy
like
Tail is
what
nowhere
would
near
be-
as bad as One Piece. I
It
think
is.
The closer you were to, like, when One Piece first started, I think the easier it's going to be to keep up with it.
Yeah, also, speaking of One Piece, apparently it's ending next year.
God
Is it?
bless.
Yeah, the creator said that
Fucking
he's...
get this parasite out of this fucking zeitgeist.
Wait, let me guess. Next year, telling me the Queen of England's going to die next year too.
There was some ominous ass post where someone just commented, like, April 22nd, 2022, at 3:03 a.m. on a post about the Queen still being alive.
Also, I need to get a new lance for Bernadetta.
I'm partially convinced that the Queen of England is just immortal.
I mean,
I know, like,
I mean, she's one
fucking-
of 3 immortals that we know in the world. Next is Billie Joel Armstrong from Green Day, and Farrah Fawcett.
You're forgetting Keanu Reeves.
Keanu Reeves actually looks like
Keanu, okay, here's the thing: eternal life and eternal youth are not the same thing.
You know, Keanu Reeves looks like he's aged, though, is the thing.
I mean, he still
True.
looks pretty damn good considering his age.
I mean, everyone else there is just aged. They've just always been aged.
I guess, but...
They all got their eternal life at a very old age. But Keanu, he was made a vampire at like 20.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
Anyway.
fucking much.
Enough about the semantics of Keanu Reeves' vampirism.
I mean, to be fair, if Keanu Reeves was a vampire, it'd create a whole new Twilight tier
believe it.
craze.
I believe it. I could believe Keanu Reeves being a vampire.
I mean, same, honestly.
The fact that's not the most unrelated tangent I've gone on in one of these streams.
What is the most unrelated fucking tangent you've ever...
Not really.
No, not even
No,
close.
what is? I'm saying what
Oh,
is.
what
no
is, what-
idea.
Okay. I was
No
about to
idea. I don't remember most of them because I am very much so I say something, it goes in one ear and out the other.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Mostly because I just don't think before I say. You know that one meme with like the monkey with a typewriter that just rips it off without a second thought?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
me saying shit.
Yeah.
You know what? Absolutely fair. So, finally level up for Ash. Please get... Okay, no magic. Oops. That sucks.
Yeah, okay, cover. Sorry, I just got a DM from someone who I just did not recognize at all, but it turns out it was just someone I talked with in the past that just changed their name.
You know,
Beautiful.
that's me with a friend of mine who keeps changing his name every week.
Yeah.
I talk to like once every 6 months.
That's a fucking mood.
You know, it's like, what the fuck did we talk Oh, hey, it's great to see you again, mate.
Who the fuck? Oh, hey, Mom!
Yeah. Oh my
How
God.
did you get this fucking... Oh, hey, Mom! Fucking classic.
Matt has his two brain cells bouncing around as a Windows background, and when they bump together, he performs one coherent thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm assuming I'm assuming that was Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows better than you guys do.
Oh, I know.
I
It's
mean, you
just
two were
hilarious.
like,
every time.
childhood friends, right?
Oh god, like 12 to 15 years, somewhere in there.
God damn. Okay.
Jesus Christ. All right.
No,
11,
no, it would have been
12,
12 years a little earlier this year, I think. And
Yeah.
I think we're going on to 13 years, because it was, I think, first grade?
Well then.
I don't remember. My memory's god awful. All I remember is that, like, the first conversation was something about, I think, Crash of the Titans?
You know, my best friend's, wanna know how my best friend in real life introduced himself to me? I was wearing a Kingdom Hearts shirt at my school, and he was like, you know, Kingdom Hearts has been shit since the first game, right?
I mean, he's not wrong.
I respect that.
Yeah,
I mean, is he wrong?
he's not wrong, but that's
No,
just
he's not.
like, holy shit.
I have never heard anything good about Kingdom Hearts other than, oh, its gameplay can be fun.
What about
Yeah,
what about from Lady?
You see, Lady thinks Revelations is an amazing game.
You know what? I regret everything now.
I mean, it's better than having one.
Oh, yes,
Suck my
most
fucking
certain.
dick. Suck my fucking dick, Dell.
I don't think it's better than FE3 Book 1, or FE11, or FE12, but...
I mean, I've reached the point in my life where I think FE1 is better than FE3 Book 1, I'm gonna be honest. I don't
Now
like
that's a
FE3 Book 1 at
spicy
all.
take. You know, Italians
just
would find
wrong,
that too
but you do
spicy.
you. So why did you go to Italians and not, like, South Africans?
I mean, Italians make spaghetti and shit, so...
Yeah, he said the spiciest take.
Yeah, spiciest take.
I don't know what South African food is like, but
Yeah, no.
It's a lot spicier.
I'll have to try that at a restaurant sometime.
Because African
what
food
the
in
fuck
general
even
is
a
just
South
really
African at
spicy.
a restaurant.
Actually, you know
What
what?
to tell you?
Better example. That was such a spicy take even Cajun people are questioning.
There we go. There we go. I definitely think that
Such a spicy take. Ghost peppers look at it and sweat.
Yeah, I like
Mood.
that one a lot.
but I think that FE3 Book 1 and FE1 are very different experiences. And I
They
do think
are.
that FE3 Book 1 isn't a great remake.
It's
Because,
I mean, yeah, like they're different experiences, but I mean, you could still prefer one to the other.
yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying, like, yeah, if you like a lot of what FE1 does, then I can understand not liking FE3 Book 1.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's an overall more fun experience than FE1, just because of FE1's extremely archaic mechanics.
Yeah, FE1
But-
is like a game that you have to experience at least. I wouldn't say it's in my top, but I still have a lot of fun with it.
Sure as hell's on my top. But yeah.
I played it one time all the way through, and I don't think I'll ever touch it again.
I'm gonna touch it again for this Ironman series when we get to the second round of them.
You know, there's a lot of things
I-
in FE1 I'd like to touch again, but
Why-
that's
why?
besides the point.
Why are we doing a second round of this? I don't remember this part of the conversation.
I'm gonna redo every Ironman I haven't beat. So FE9's
So
out of the
all of them
picture.
except for one.
Yeah, all of them except for one so far. But if
Oh
I
yeah, you didn't beat any others.
not yet, I've gotten so close. So like second
You might as
final.
well just call that like a fucking Iron Man season 2 at this point.
That's what I'm calling it. That is what it's
That's
called.
what it is.
My God.
It is. Season 2 is gonna start with FE6 and 7. Because those are the ones I got the. I'm going by the ones I got the least farthest in.
So why is FE8 not first?
You know what? I'm gonna. You know what? You might as well call me. You might as well call me Dad because I'm about to beat your ass.
You see, my dad would never beat my ass. He
Your
just
dad-
left.
God.
This man showed up, went, "See ya, kiddo," and then just disappeared.
I mean, he probably had some future sight looking at you.
Like, you know
Yeah.
that fucking, like, vine of where the
Yeah.
dude just throws up a peace sign and then just fades into the background?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was my dad.
No. It's like that vine where it's like the guy just like throws down his backpack and just hops into the trash can. It's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god. Also, Balthus is so good.
Balthus is stupid.
Yes. That is one of the requirements to being a himbo after.
I mean, he's stupid in more ways than one. I should say.
Oh,
Dumb of ass.
dumb of ass. Yeah.
That was an interesting gas video.
Oh, I still have to actually watch that. I just skimmed through it to see what it was about, because I don't know why, but it's been forever since I've really watched FE content.
I very rarely do.
I still watch like Mecha whenever he puts out like a non-LP video. The problem is that's just basically all he does anymore.
The problem with Mecha that I have is that I feel like he's too monotone to carry himself.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like the monotone, okay, like for a Let's Play, I'm saying specifically.
Yeah, Mecha is at his best when he's giving informational videos.
Yeah.
And not like his condescending ass tier list that he's not really being condescending, but because of just how he talks, it comes off as condescending.
Also, that's another thing with the FE community I'm kind of tired of. That I've actually talked to Gas about this. We're tired of tier list videos. Like, seriously, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if
Time to do a
I'm
tit-size tier list of FE1's cast.
I'm glad we're like I'm glad that the FA community is also starting to understand that like tier list is not equal guide.
Yeah.
Like, the thing with a lot of tier list videos is that they leave out a lot of context about what makes units good for, like, 2 maps, but they make that map so much easier.
Yeah. Just gonna.
I mean, I just kind of like what I would usually what I do for like for like a whenever I'm like kind of like putting together sort of like a tier list thing is whatever I factor in how useful a unit is for like the maps that they join and just kind of weigh that over the course of how many maps there are in the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for example, you know, like Alfred and DRS is like really fucking useful for the final map, but that's 1 map out of like 40. So
Yeah. Well, I do think that one thing that the FE community had a problem with, and I think still does, but I haven't looked at any like tier list shit recently at all, is just really overvaluing availability. Not so much in the positive way, but in the they punish units that aren't around for long way too much.
Yeah.
Like seeing shit like FE6 Corel and D tier.
Fuck that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, because you could do the exact same thing with Rucker has been with you since chapter 4.
But you see, the thing is that like with Rucker,
That's exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
That is exactly what I mean.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, just use Rutger. Rutger.
Well,
like,
now
Rutger...
you're making a tier list into a guide.
That's the point. The thing is with tier list videos is that take them at their base. You know, we're supposed to take them at their base.
There is value in being a strong unit that joins later on.
Okay, but
no,
also
it's not as much.
Also consider that chapter 24 only has like 10 deployment slots.
That's fair. At the same time, if you're like a lot of tier lists,
and 2 of them are forced. So
but the thing is,
you're kind of proving the point. That's the funniest part here.
How am I proving the point?
Okay, let me explain. A lot of tier list videos also kind of, from what I understand, from what I've seen of like older tier list videos, I don't know about newest tier lists. It's like, imagine if every unit was a 0% growth. We go purely off their bases as well. So it's like, oh, Corel's got better bases than Rutger.
It doesn't matter.
That's stupid.
Anymore. It doesn't matter about that point.
Yeah.
No, but the point I was more making is it doesn't matter that you can do it with Rutger. Is Corel good once you get him? Yes.
He is.
Then you factor in availability.
Yes.
But he's so good once you get him. Yeah, Rutger can do it too. And sure, Rutger has bonus points for availability. But taking away those points from Corel is just being really dishonest about the unit's quality.
Okay,
That-
but here's the thing. Corel's good for 3 maps. Rutger's good for like 20.
Okay, then put Rutger in S tier. But don't put Corel in D tier, because then you're only grading availability, which isn't the only thing that matters.
That I can
Okay,
agree
where,
with.
where would you put Corel?
I'd put him like
Or-
bottom of B tier,
Yeah,
maybe top of B tier.
Yeah, no, I cannot agree with that.
I can agree with that purely because
Then you are only grading availability.
Well, yeah, because at that point, that's the only thing that matters. Because like when you both can do the same combat thing, then like it's whoever comes first.
Not really. I don't see that.
You're really missing the point of this. The point is, Corel still does that thing. Sure, he comes a lot later and at the very end of the game. But he's not bad because of it.
No.
He's just,
So why?
he just doesn't have availability.
Okay. Let me ask you then. Where would you put, like Athos?
Athos, I'd probably put him in pretty much the same spot.
Okay.
Somewhere in
And,
B tier.
How about like Alfred and TRS?
Alfred is weird because he's got a lot of like janky utility.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like, did you bring a thief and can you open the doors?
Yeah, I see.
But-
yeah.
I'd probably put him in C tier just because for combat he's not as good as Corel or Athos or Kainagus or someone like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but how good is he compared to the TRS units? Not like ignore the units from other games. How is he in TRS?
Again, I'd say probably top of C tier, bottom of B tier.
No,
Yeah.
I'm talking about in combat.
Oh, in
wait,
combat,
that's what you mean. Or is that what
Yeah.
you mean? Okay, okay.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
generally he has some utility, but his utility is very limited.
Like
And
I was kind of like messing around with like a tier, like the reason why I kind of chimed in with the Alfred thing is because I'm working on like a TRS tier list kind of like script, and like I'm making sure to lay down like some very like some ground rules, I guess, for lack of a better way to put it, like what it
Yeah.
like this just like how I am ranking the units.
mhm.
Yeah.
Alfred is just weird because he's not as good at combat as a normal Gateau would be. So,
yeah.
like, he's good at combat, but he's not normally what a Gateau would be. But he also has more utility than a normal Gateau because he has access to shit like warp and he can door key for Senate?
Can actually. Yes.
Do you
Is
need
that
a
his
door key
name?
for center? Do you need a door key for center?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You either need to get a thief over there or use the door key that Alfred comes with.
Okay, I just
So-
warped. I just warped the map, so I don't know shit about like how the intended way to get through that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you either need to send a thief over to Senate's door, or you
Yeah.
can just use Alfred.
Oh, we're talking. Okay, you were saying. Okay, sorry. I was. You said Gateau, and I thought we were talking about FU1 for a moment there.
No,
so
no, no.
Ignore me.
No,
Ignore
we're just
me.
calling
Ignore me.
Alfred a Gateau unit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he is. There's like several Gateaus in FU.
There's literally 3 in one map. It's the funniest shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of count Senate and T as like pseudo lords, pseudo Gateaus.
Hey,
I guess
Kuma.
that's kind of sort of.
Well, they're more Gateaus than they are lords.
Well, yeah, but I just mean
Yeah.
like I don't know. It's weird.
Like, I mean, yeah, they're lords because you get a game over and they're in lord classes, but
and also
like,
they form like the like and like so like the like
Fire
the
Emblem
square,
Four
like,
Swords.
Yeah. Like they're the other two with
Yeah, I'm
where
just
they're
saying,
involved.
in terms of unit role, outside of them having fancy swords to stab the final boss with, they're Gateaus still.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
guess. Okay.
Like, but yeah, like, honestly, yeah. It's, gotta think about, like, how they serve, like, during, like, the point they come in, too, is, like, because, like, it's not just a matter of availability, like, because, like, yeah, they come in later, but it's, like, if they still serve a good purpose, they can't honestly be put in a low tier.
Yeah. Like
Like,
once
I
again,
can, like,
TR once again, TRS.
I will use an example that I will defend till the end of fucking time.
Oh,
Soleil.
boy.
Hey there.
Oh, no, FE8.
FE8 Soleil, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
I was like, the unit you can get anytime after you get Laszlo? Or
No, Soleil, S-A-L-E-H.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Sala.
he's
Sala.
alright.
Yeah, he's,
I don't really know
he's
enough
like-
about FE8 to judge him.
Here's the
He's like high A tier. He's like mid A tier, but a lot of people put him in C
yeah.
tier. A lot of people put
Yeah,
him in
no,
C tier. I don't
I can
think
agree.
he's...
I can agree. I can agree here with Sala because like he still misses half the game, but he's still just like a really good solo combat unit, like right from the get go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think
He's no Pent, but he's still really good.
I just think a lot of people really overvalue availability, and not in the, oh, this unit gets a way higher tier just because. No, they just, this unit is only in fucking D tier because they come late
Okay,
instead of.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah. In regards to that, then yeah, I can see it.
It's
for
not
example,
like move
once
Rutger
again-
down from S tier. No, keep him there. That's where he belongs.
Yeah.
It's like another TRS example. Someone like Sierra.
I have a favorite.
Like
Mhm.
I would cap her at A tier because she misses like 2/3 of the game, but she plays such a crucial role in that last third of the game that I just can't like. I
Yeah.
would still keep her in A tier.
I mean, I guess an arguably better example is Yoda. For like a very direct comparison
Yoda-
to the FE6 example. Because
Yoda-
Yoda is pretty much the best combat unit in the
depend-
game once you get him.
It depends on how. It depends on like. It's another thing is that it also like. It depends on like the context of like the playthrough itself, because like for example like Yoda in like a more efficient run wouldn't be seeing a lot of use because like the last like bit of Holmes' maps he just kind of warp skip it and like just warps like Shara warps out of the boss, he warp Holmes to the seize point and that's it. But like it's weird. I don't know. That's another issue I have with Heroes because like they're too. They don't cover enough ground, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Like they limit themselves to like a semi-efficient run. First of all, what the fuck does that even mean? And second of all, like I feel like I don't know. I want to like
if you start just saying, okay, this is a run that takes into consideration LTC strats only, then you're gonna get really skewed and just awful tier lists that give no good ideas of where units' actual quality is.
That I can agree with.
well, yeah. I mean, just like at that rate, I think like you should like make multiple tier lists of the game. Like, how does this unit perform in an LTC run? How do they perform in like a regular like ranked run or
Exactly.
something?
Like, yeah, and that's a problem that a lot of tier list makers don't do, is that like they assume that everyone plays LTC. You're like, a lot of tier list makers like whenever
The worst part too is I can kind of see the logic because like when you're just if you're thinking about casually, then like it doesn't fucking matter who's whoever the hell
My
you want.
general rule for it is you're going to try and complete the map as soon as reasonable for your team.
Yeah.
Not
But that's the thing, like that's the thing. Reasonable can be like
it can change on the playthrough. Yada. I don't give a shit. But you get what I mean. It's completing the map, going straight for the objective, trying to complete it, and do all the side objectives in a map.
Yeah.
That it in about as quickly as you can,
Yeah.
but not trying to optimize the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Which is
my-
warp
my-
skipping, LTC
my-
strats, yada yada.
My ideal setting for a tier list would be I'm gonna say 100% run, but that's not quite what I mean because like 100% run for an FE game is just like for 90% of them is just like recruiting everyone and keeping everyone alive. But I'm also talking about like all the possible side objectives in each map. But like a playthrough like that's also like very highly optimized. Like basically, imagine an LTC run where you also get all the villages and all the side objectives and all that. So basically,
yeah, but that's a very different kind of tier.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's how that's the kind of setting that I would use for a tier list.
Yeah, just be clear. Just give clarity that that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just make very general tier lists, don't
Yeah, like-
give any criteria, and
But
it leads to
basically,
really
like-
stupid places.
Like basically, like get all the villages and also get all the droppable items. Maybe not necessarily like kill every single enemy, but just get all the droppable items and like everything else,
Mhm.
all the scalable items and all that. So
Just doing all the side objectives in a map while trying
Yeah.
to beat the game in as few turns as possible, while also doing that stuff.
yeah. Like people always say like, oh, a secret book isn't really that useful. It's still something that you can go get in the map.
Yeah. I mean, a secret book isn't all that useful.
Well,
But
no, but it's still a side objective that like. Well, also it depends on the game. It also depends on the game because like +2 skill can actually be like pretty useful in the games where accuracy is paramount. So
Yeah, but usually in a lot of those games, like the 4,000 gold is pretty valuable too. So you have a really good
Well, yeah,
like
but it's-
decision to
Oh,
make.
no.
You don't want to miss it, of course. But
yeah. Like, yeah, basically that's the whole point. Whether you're just selling it for gold or whether you're actually using it for the +2 skill, like
Mhm.
you still want it for some reason.
like even a goddess icon is 4,000 gold.
Yeah. Plus, like in the Arcanea remakes, like +2 luck is actually really useful because no one has any luck.
Hmm.
I was also going to say, you know what? I just had a random thought. You know what game an arm scroll would have been really useful in?
What?
Berwick.
God, yes.
Imagine,
oh my god.
imagine
Just
if like we
just-
got like a +5 from an arm weapon rank.
you just get like 2 arm scrolls and 2 shield scrolls. And it just
Yes.
increases whatever rank of your currently equipped item by 5. God, that would be so nice.
Well, make the arm scroll like maybe 2 in the entire game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
I mean, I feel like at that point there should be more than 2, because like the reason why there's only like 2 HP potions and 1 of every other stat potion is because stats just like aside from weapon rank, stats are just like not really even a factor in Berwick.
But the thing is that weapon rank is required for a lot of promotions.
Yeah.
And
Well, yeah,
promotions
exactly.
are supposed to be a hidden.
Exactly, which is why I'm saying like if you're gonna do that, then put in like several.
Yeah, I can get that.
Because a bunch of units need more than 1 weapon rank to be at a certain level to promote.
True.
Yeah, but it's just a hard line to get of too few versus too many.
I mean, like, okay, let's say like 10 over the course of the entire game. There's
So that would
35
be-
playable units, and a lot of those need like several weapons, like at least 2.
Well, you're not reasonably going to be using all 35.
Doesn't matter. Like actually, in a ranked run, like okay, for example, like if you were trying to do a ranked run, then you would have to because you need.
If you're trying to do a fucking ranked run in Berwick, you're a fucking sociopath.
That's,
doesn't matter.
I mean, I can. Yeah, I get that, but it's like,
But it's just a matter of how many would be too many for a normal run to where it
Well,
would
you also-
trivialize
you-
promotion.
Okay, also consider that a normal run probably wouldn't be getting all 10 of those.
I mean, I guess, but still, how
Like,
many would the normal
it's the
run
same kind of sort of
reasonably
situation
get?
here.
How much would the normal run reasonably get? Probably
I mean,
like
that's
3 or
impo-
4.
That's impossible to gauge.
Exactly. So just throwing out 10 and going, well, it's for ranked runs. Well,
I mean-
what if someone gets 6 or 7 of those on accident, and now you
Well,
just
well, then-
trivialize
well-
all promotions?
No, they fucking haven't. There's more than 6 or 7 like weapon ranks to like. Okay, for example, Riek, you said that like if it was like your currently equipped weapon, right?
yes.
There's more than 6 or 7 weapon ranks you need to raise to promote people.
Yes, but usually there's only 1 or 2 that's actually difficult to get up.
Yeah.
Okay, then like they're rewarded for actually going out and getting them.
That's fair too. I get
Yeah.
where both you come from is the thing.
I just think 10 would probably be too many, because that's a total of 50 bonus weapon rank that you just get for free.
Yeah, I can see
Even in
that.
a ranked run, that would be a lot.
Like, okay, maybe make it 10, but make like them so hidden or like have to do obscure
Okay, you're also-
requirements.
You're also assuming that a unit would just use them all on 1 unit.
No, I'm not. I'm saying a +5 to any weapon, to 1 annoying weapon rank can completely
wait,
change the scale of a promotion.
Well, okay, then make it like +3 or something like that.
You know what? That's nerfing is also a possibility. That is something that
Yeah.
you can do. It's like
Because
+3.
most units only need like 20 or 30 anyway, so it's like 10 like even if you use them all in the same like unit, like 10 like using all 10 would be like 1 promotion for like Dean or like Kramer or like one of those like 30 weapon rank people.
If
Yeah.
you use your fucking arm scrolls on Dean,
it was a huge dummy.
I mean,
that should just immediately get you like a disability card.
God, yeah. Oh my
Like,
god. Holy shit! Like,
just
Oh,
instantly.
it just has an example, is what I mean.
Yeah, I know. I'm just poking
God.
fun at the example.
yeah. Sometimes
Okay, yeah. How about a okay, I was about to say how about a better example than I was about to say Esteban. but that's not even remotely how that works.
Goddess, could it be that
Aegina.
Yeah, I was about to say Aegina. Granted,
Oh,
Aegina needs a lot more to fix her up a little bit.
I mean,
Poor girl.
Fair, yeah.
she needs like, I don't know what she needs, but like,
And actually, you know what?
Aegina is a unit that would be hard to fix, I think.
Actually, you know what would be an awesome thing for Arm Scroll to do, like specifically for certain units?
What's that?
You know, like if Berwick had an Arm Scroll, you know how like cavalry units can equip both a weapon and a shield?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Make it only like +2, but it gives, or +3, but it gives like +3 to both the weapon they're equipped and their shield that they have equipped.
Or actually, here, how about this? How about have 2 different types? Like
Yeah,
one for
I brought that up earlier. That was like part of the original pitch of
I misheard
having
that.
both arms and the shield scrolls.
I didn't even hear. Oh.
I misheard that. My bad.
It's all right. I was just poking fun. Honestly, I think Aegina would probably benefit from just a higher base wind rank
Also, I keep
and like maybe 60% wind
my thanks?
growth.
Oh well, yeah,
I
yeah,
guess.
she could absolutely like benefit from a higher like growth rate in win rank. I'm just saying, like the issue is that like you can't buff her accuracy too much because the whole point of wind magic is that it like its accuracy is low because it hits multiple times and like no one has any resistance in Berwick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, side note, I forgot this was an SMT for a second, and I was trying to use the R button to run.
Well, let me see what her requirements are. So she needs
It's,
30
she's-
wind
30 wind, yeah.
Also,
I'd say
Logan,
just drop
Amethyst,
that
great
to-
to see ya.
to like level 10 and like 20 wind to make her promotion easier to get, but not having to buff her wind at all.
But still buffer win just because like 50% for Berwick.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I'd say like maybe buff her wind base to 10
Yeah.
and then just give her a 60% wind growth.
Yeah. Another issue with like the Berwick person system is that it's like they were kind of sort of templating like sort of how certain promotions work without stopping to think of how that would affect the unit.
Yeah. Promotions definitely seem like the requirements were kind of tossed on after a certain point.
Like someone brought up that like in a Steven server that like they would have just preferred if it was just a level requirement and not like weapon rank requirement also, because like it's already
I think for units like Aegina and like the Spear Bros and shit, you're only going to be using 1, maybe 2 weapon types ever.
I mean, like, yeah, because they don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't really make any difference if it was just a level requirement.
Yeah.
Because all that would do is make it to where it's more accessible.
Like for example, like frickin' like Faye and Zenny both have like level requirements. Granted, Zenny also has a couple as another thing, but like in terms of just like raising her combat potential, you just have to get her level up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, just level up requirements work great for Berwick, I'd say. For a lot of units.
Yeah. I also brought this up with I brought this up with Matt, but I kind of want to restate it here for because Reek's here. I think Berwick would have benefited a lot from like having like sort of guidance style like infinite durability weapons.
Oh, certainly, I can actually agree with that full.
Yeah, because the thing is like a lot of different weapons in Berwick you only get one of anyway.
Yeah. Or you know,
Like,
or you know, have a or like you know how there's the durability system in Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Make it like an HP system for like a weapon. You know how horses have horse HP in Berwick?
Yeah.
Have weapons just have weapon HP, but like have different weapon HP, or the weapon HPs deplete slower depending on their durability. Like A rank durability, you know, they only lose like 3 HP.
At that point, it's just a durability system like FE.
I was gonna say
It is just a durability system
Just with
like
extra
FE, but...
steps.
Imagine like this game's like combat, like how this game drains combat arts, let me try that again. Combat arts in this game drain different like durability amounts, but that's just by default.
Yeah.
for the system.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
But like, I think Berwick, if it was just normal durability,
Oh yeah, Sean.
would be perfectly fine. Oh,
Sean, horses have HP. You can kill your horses in
yes,
Berwick.
your
Yeah.
horses can die in Berwick, and it's
Let it
low-key
be-
the best system in the game.
Let it be known that Berwick has the best dismounting system in the game because your incentive to dismount is if you don't, your horse fucking dies.
Yep, and you get force dismounted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also horses cost a fuck ton of gold.
I actually do. Honestly, that is something that I would love for Fire Emblem to just steal, because Fire Emblem does already steal a fair bit from Kaga.
I mean, they already were
I mean,
planning on
now they
doing
do.
horse racing.
Yeah, horse racing in Three Houses. You know how we have
Yeah,
the horse?
that actually that was a beta thing that they took out for some reason.
Yeah, if they kept that, that
Oh,
would have been
nice.
so cool. Like, imagine, like,
I can understand why they took out that, because
I
it
guess-
probably
I
would have
guess
made
because, like,
units way too complicated.
Yeah, like because there's already like so much here. Like, good lord.
Like,
Yeah.
Three Houses makes you keep a ton of shit in mind.
yeah,
So-
like Three Houses already is the most bookkeeping FE game ever.
So imagine if you had to check enemy horses, too.
God.
But yeah, like, Berwick's horse system is fucking dope. And totally didn't spur me to make a dinosaur-mounted FE concept.
Yeah, which we already know about.
Yep.
God.
I just wasn't sure if I had told Sean about that yet. But yeah,
Also, hi
Shit's
Kieran, welcome to the YouTube chat.
This.
Yeah.
As you probably saw, it's sub only because I'm trying to kill the bots.
he only wants submissive people to speak.
God damn.
Oh.
Only beta males in this chat. So I'm going to have to leave now. So I'll see y'all later.
Oh, God. Are you actually leaving?
No.
Good.
That was
We-
strictly
we-
a
we'll-
joke
we'll-
to call Della beta.
We only allow suboptimal people in here.
Well, then you're
So,
stuck
Matt-
here, buddy.
So you fit right in here, Matt.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I love Suboptimal. That's just the
the
story
wrong
of my
thing.
life.
That was the wrong thing I accidentally put into horses when he's not using horses. But I fixed it.
What is Ferdinand going?
Swords, axes, and flying.
Oh boy.
So he's basically a wyvern lord.
God,
need
I'm
plant
so
break.
glad Laurentia's wyvern can't die.
Oh,
Yeah.
imagine if that was the case.
That would be
Which
the biggest gay ever.
but funnily enough, that actually does give her like a decent bit of like utility. The fact that her mouth can never ever die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like that gives her
Also, like
utility,
it's
but also-
amazing. It's amazing how far you can how useful you can make a unit just by making them the soul flyer.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And also I will
Like-
say this, Berwick has the best flyers because I feel like Laurentia is like one of the most nerfed units out there.
And she's still the best unit. She's still one of the best units in the game.
Yeah.
And then you get to like you get to Vesteria Saga 1 with like Ruby and Amiri, and it's like Kaga, I'll give you credit. There was an attempt to nerf flyers because flyers and the Vesteria Saga only have 6 movements, where like 5-ish is like the standard.
Yeah.
They keep their weakness to bows because of course, and then they also don't have the best like the actual flyer units don't have the best base stats, and like the Eagle Rider Raptor Knight class line doesn't have the best stack caps, which that doesn't really matter, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
There was an attempt, but they're still so fucking good.
Oh yeah.
Just solely because he decided to keep, just for some reason, Kaga decided to make it so that they could still use swords, and cutlasses just break the game in half.
Oh, cutlasses in fucking Vestaria are so good.
You know, I'm approaching flyers in a bit of an odd way in my SRPG, because you only get 3 of them.
Mhm.
And
that's
2
about
of them are recruited in the last third of the game.
Okay.
So you get one
So
fucking...
you get one for like relatively early, and it's the only flyer you have for a while, basically.
Yeah, and she's sort of she's what? I guess Jarrett is like the closest unit.
I think
So,
I've
so
already
like kind of sort of like a mini Marcus kind of.
Yeah.
I think I've already explained to you guys how I'm doing flyers in my SRPG.
You probably have, but I just kind of zone out. So
Okay, so they're gonna have the high
Alright, time to
movement.
zone out again.
Oh god damn you. But yeah, they have the high movement and no terrain costs, but they don't have Kanto.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's honestly, yeah.
Yeah, so they cannot Kanto out if you decide, you know what, I'm gonna send them Leroy Jenkins style into the fucking field.
Fair.
There's so much left.
But yeah, all three of the flyers and mine, there's only really one that's a normal unit,
Yeah.
because one of them is a sort of mini, like, Jagan style unit, where she's got pretty blah growths,
Is this my...
and the other weird one is your Est, who technically joins us here too, but there's no, like, inbuilt, like, double dragon class, and I don't want Beast Tamer to just promote into Dragon Rider.
That's fair.
But her gimmick is she's your resident dragon killer if you actually train her up. And a dragon killer is very useful in the late game of mine.
That's fair.
Actually, you said like your first one was sort of like a Jared sort of thing. It's kind of like, like she's the only player you have for like a good chunk of the game. So like my mind immediately goes to like Jared plus Shauna.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's going to be good, but she's probably going to be falling off really hard on combat by the time you get the other two.
Yeah.
Because the other two are actually recruited at, like, pretty much the exact same time. I didn't really intend for that, but it's just kind of how the story worked out.
Without Kanto, how can I send flyers on village fetching duty? You still can. You just gotta be very careful.
You need to be smart with our movement.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And you actually need to be mindful of enemy ranges.
Especially because I'm doing guided bows.
Oh god. Why? Oh my god.
Speaking of bows, God, I fucking hate that you can't just do, like, easy hybrid classes that use bows.
I know, right?
I mean, you can kinda.
I mean,
if
like,
you go into if you go into the classes section, if you hit the what is it? Hit create class, and then like actually no, you click on like the little window that shows like the little map sprite, and then you click original below that. You can kind of like make a hybrid class.
yeah, I just mean, like, it doesn't work out with animations and shit.
Oh yeah.
If I were to just give a
Yeah.
paladin bows, which is annoying, because I wanted to, like, pretty much deadass give you Raphael, but if he was
Actually,
just God.
I think
Oh, God.
you still can. Hang on, let me try this. Go on original. You need to change like the actual like click on like when it like on like the when you click on original and like it shows like little window. You need to click on the window again, and then choose from there. I think is how that works.
Oh yeah, then I can select animations for if he uses bows.
There you go.
That's cool.
There we go.
Yeah.
Max.
But yeah, basically one of the units that you actually get alongside the second flyer. Well, okay. No, you get the second flyer alongside him. Because I talked to you about this, Del. It's the Duke.
Oh, he's a flyer.
No, he's a paladin. He's a Giga Chad paladin.
Okay.
He's,
Giga
okay.
or more
Chad.
specifically, he's a Regal Knight.
Okay. What did you say his name was?
Blaine.
Blaine. That was it.
Duke Blaine of Gawain. Which I did not intend to rhyme, but that's how it turned out.
That's actually pretty funny now that... like, unintentional rhyming is always the best. When you intentionally rhyme, you kind of are being, like... You kind of do it in the most stupid way.
You feel like you're trying too hard, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, he's one of the more main characters and probably up there is one of the best units in the game.
You know, speaking of, like, making games, if I ever can get to it, you know the Arcanea remakes I'm gonna do? I don't know how I'll do those, if it's gonna be the rest RPGs or not.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I've shown you all the class ideas I have, right, Matt?
Yeah, and most of them are pretty cool.
Yeah, like, Crimson Knight for Mathis,
As long as it makes me
and all that. That's like,
Mathis having a unique class is like some Kaga bullshit if I ever heard it.
Well,
I
that's the
ever heard it.
idea. That's the
That
idea.
just sounds,
A bit
that just
more
sounds
skill
cursed.
never hurt anyone.
And Marth's sister having her own like OP as fuck class, which is like because she
I
has
still
like
find the concept of her stealing a sword from Garneth being really funny.
yeah.
I forget if that's something you went with, but it's just a
Oh,
funny
I am
concept.
gonna go with it. I am gonna go with
Cool.
it. Yeah, no, she is gonna steal a sword from Garneth. That is what we're gonna do.
Beautiful. Imagine you're walking away, you look back, and your sister is looting a corpse.
Yeah. I think can go Pegasus now. Nice, I need one.
I'm not gonna make the joke.
What joke?
3.
The Pegasus Knight joke.
God damn.
What? I don't understand. Unless you're
Dorothea
talking
can
about,
peg
like,
a sus knight.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh god. Oh, that was what you were going with. I thought it was something
Oh, no,
with Dorothy and
it's still-
writing.
Oh no, Dorothea is the most skilled character at writing in the entire game. We all know that. But
Also, I'm making Ferdinand a thief just because I find it fun.
unless you follow fan fiction and then it's Sylvain, but let's ignore that.
Let's ignore that
Uncomfortable
rabbit
thought.
hole for a bit. Let's ignore that rabbit hole. You see, we're gonna take that rabbit hole and we're gonna make it like a child off the Empire State Building.
Noble never fails.
Gotta love it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I love.
You people are stupid.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
that's
still
one, figure that
associate with us. Ooh, Dorothea the Pegasus Knight.
No, I just realized something funny. I don't think
I passed the
there's going to even be a normal fighter in this game.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty sure Carter the Pirate is going to be like the only tier 1 axe unit.
Oh, in your game, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn.
Fucking Sylvain out here with the drip.
Yeah. His focuses are on magic and heavy armor.
I'm still so sad there isn't like an armored mage class.
There's...
I will say that every time magic and heavy armor come up until the end of time.
I know. I'm
Understandable.
on your side, mate. Alright.
By all accounts, that's what the Edelgard should have been.
Really should have been, like, she should have had a... She should have used Reason as her class, you know? We all...
Yeah.
Everyone in their right... You know,
Her
FE17.
class
Give us
Gives a goddamn magic growth boost.
Yes, exactly.
Like they truly did not go through too well.
There's probably some like stupid behind the scenes reason that she doesn't.
Yeah. It...
She's also, I'm pretty sure she's the only in the game that learns a mix of both regular black magic and dark magic, I think. Let me look that up.
I think Yuritsa does too.
Yuritsa, let's find out. Oh yeah, sure enough. He learns Thunder, Thoron, and Death Gamma.
Yeah, because I know that Edelgard is Baby's first Arvis, and
Baby's
then
first.
Yuritsa is electroshock therapy.
Is that the one?
God damn.
Is that the one?
Wait, how the hell is she Baby's first Arvis? What does that even mean?
She's the Flame Emperor, and she gets Fire and Bolganone.
It's a joke.
Okay, but how is that Baby's first Arvis?
She
I don't
uses
understand.
fire magic, and she's the Flame Emperor. That's the joke.
Yeah, but like, it's... Okay, Matt.
You're thinking too hard on it.
Clearly. I'm overestimating Matt's...
She's in a class called Emperor. Who was the first motherfucker in a class called Emperor?
Harden, actually. I'm pretty sure.
Was he Emperor?
Yeah, Harden's
think
class was
so.
Emperor.
Yeah, so your joke doesn't even work anymore.
Okay, who was the most important character with the class Emperor?
That depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
I mean,
You
that's-
see, now I'm mostly doing that for the joke. But, like, you know. Who is the character that was an Emperor, an armored unit, and also used fire magic?
Every single like every single Baron boss in FE4.
They're not an emperor.
And no.
I mean, they function pretty much the same way.
It's a different class, though.
No, that's right.
Yep.
I just tapped my temple like the fucking shitty meme format.
Let's get to it.
God,
Um,
you
I
must
don't
be.
know why that movie laughed so hard. What the fuck?
Damn.
but like Edelgard is just in a lot of ways a reference to Arvis.
Oh yeah,
so-
she definitely is.
And I think her learning fire magic as her secondary magic type is part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like she learns like she's almost. I was gonna say she's like a mix between Arvis and Julius, but can we say that? I don't think we could say that.
She's
not,
not really a
like-
mix. She's not really Julius like. She's not
Yeah,
really
no.
that like people
She
will
wasn't
like
really-
people that don't pay
There's a
attention
lot
to the
of
story will
Julius
say,
and
Like she was kind of sorta made to kind of like. I
Like,
don't
there's a
know.
little bit of Julius in there, but like,
Yeah, like
it's really loose.
yeah.
yeah.
As you wish.
But like,
you could probably argue that like getting like the false crest of flames implanted into her was kind of sort of a way to have like
the closest she gets to Julius is Hegemon.
Yeah.
is it
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Honestly, I'd agree
Is it?
there.
how so how does that work?
Because she becomes a supernatural entity.
But yeah, but like
And well, and here's are you talking about like
yeah, but Julius
character
doesn't
wise?
literally change how the fuck he looks.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's the closest. It's not really all that close, but like,
That's not close at all. Good lord.
Yeah, no. Like I don't see the Julius at all in Edelgard really.
really the only thing
It's
that's
like-
there is the Crest of Flames being somewhat equivalent
Well,
to Julius being
here,
bred for
how
Loftier Blood.
about this? Shut up. How about this then? Julius, basically was just kind of like claimed by the Loftier cult to be the vessel for Loftier, so like he never got to live like the life of his own as like a child, and Edelgard didn't really get that chance either. Well, she kind of did, but not for long.
Okay, backstory wise, I can see that now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, sort of, but like, isn't that like Edelgard's entire story?
Well, I mean that's pretty much Julius's entire story
Is that
too.
she's walking her own path?
Yeah. Well,
yeah, but
well
that
Julius
kinda-
is just like, okay, I'm no longer Julius. I'm up here.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
it's a different like, take on the
it's-
whole thing, but
It's about as close as they get.
yeah. Oh, are we doing this really stupid fucking DLC chapter now?
We're
Or
not. It's not.
DLC chapter, but DLC side mission.
It is. Yes, we are. Because I want. Come on. Really? Really? Annette. Love of God. Okay, what's her. Okay, I need to get her a better axe. Do I have any better axes?
Anna has an iron axe.
Well, she. Oh, yeah, and that's. Oh, yeah, she does.
Yes, fair enough. That's why. That's so weird.
But Anna's focuses are axes, bows, and authority.
Right. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. I forgot about that. Okay.
I have to keep
Yes,
them.
why does she have axes as a boon? That's so weird to me.
Come on, let's lose the net. Okay.
Nope. No losing a net. We got it.
Everyone will be so.
And Annette's focuses is axes, swords, and faith, and I have no faith magic right now. Oh wait,
I
no,
thought
she
you were
has
going to
heal.
say. I thought you were
heal.
going to say I have no faith in her.
I have faith in her.
I mean that's just a mark of someone who doesn't know how to use her.
Yeah. There
Like
we
Annette
go.
is like Lynette is actually or I
That's
should say
fucking
Lynette's-
wild.
Yeah, Annette. Yeah.
Okay, not the best idea. I had a thought and then I realized, wait. No, that'd be stupid. That would get her killed. Ingrid, go in and shoot the bitch.
God damn it. I just. Isn't like the Fire Emblem and Yggdrasil the Velthomer family
Yes,
crest?
it is.
The goddamn crest of flames.
Yeah.
Yep. Again, there's so many FE4 references in this. Yggdrasil
Yeah,
reference.
Three
like-
Houses is just Yggdrasil, but if Yggdrasil had Down syndrome.
Oh my god.
Like, that is what Fodlan is.
Why? What? How does that? What? I don't understand that joke.
Well, the point of the joke is the absurdism.
Okay, Matt.
You know, sometimes
Is that the
sometimes
point
I
of-
feel like we should be like your
is that the point of
parents.
is that the point of your existence too? Just like the fact that this someone like this actually exists, just so absurd that's hilarious.
Well, I can certainly tell you my parents aren't. Fucking ye oldie. No, no curve shot, boop.
She
I
wouldn't be doing
forgot
any
about
damage
curve
anyway.
shot. I can smash like this. We're happy to
wouldn't
get a
do- yeah.
kill.
And it wouldn't be doing any damage with the curve shot anyway.
Yeah, no.
Point Del.
It's an armor knight.
It's not about the money. It's about sending a message.
Okay.
So sending a message that you're completely incompetent. Yeah, sure, I can say that.
I mean, yeah, who's playing the game?
Well, we don't need Rick to prove that message because he's already done that on numerous occasions.
You have a point.
I mean, how far did I get in both FE4 and Silver Snow?
How far did you get in FE8?
13 chapters?
That was the second run. That was
the
FE8
second
season
run.
2.
God damn it, you guys really... You guys are the worst.
How long did it take you to lose Jagan in FE3?
That was to a 3% crit, though.
That was just your own idiocy. That was not due to any crit. Like literally, you dismounted Jagan for some reason when he was surrounded by like 3 brigands.
That's because he didn't have a lance anymore, because Kushida took his lance.
Right, but like he gets extra bulk from being mounted. I think. I would have to look that up, but yeah.
Besides, it's Jagan in FE3. It's not that important to keep him around.
Well, yeah, but he's still useful.
He's a badass old man.
Yeah, like he's like people grossly overrated him in FE3 book 1, but like he's still good.
I suppose.
Anyway, back to Fodlan, because I want to talk
Like-
more about Fodlan. I really hope that we get at least one more game in Fodlan, just because
There's like still so much to explore here.
I really love this. There's like random fucking lines and shit.
The
Like the-
thing with Fodlan, though, is it's like it'd have to be either a prequel game or something, because there's no way to continue unless you're like, oh, this route is canon, and that would ruin the whole point of this game.
That didn't stop him before.
Yeah.
That
I
didn't
mean,
stop them before, but
For people who love Thracia, y'all are talking a lot of shit about canon.
I don't really like. I like Thracia, but I don't love it. You know, it's not one of my
I-
tops.
I just don't care about the story in that game, honestly.
I just think that Three Houses is at a really good spot to where like the endings are different enough and have different results enough to where you could go, okay, this game takes place after Edelgard's victory of conquering Fodlan.
Actually, you know what? I did have a thought about that, like when I was driving the day.
That's
Like-
never good.
Like, you know, what if they
What,
decided to
yeah,
release
auto
like
driving.
a Fire Emblem type game,
Both.
game in Fodlan that like reads your save data based on the end of like
I think that would be a little over the top.
So
But-
Undertale.
like kind of well, what I'm saying is that like it takes place in like based off the ending of that save file.
The issue is that like,
You would need to have 4 different games.
yeah, you would basically just need to have like 4 different games of that.
That's fair.
Because like the issue with like making a new game following one specific ending in particular is that like it creates like the content, like the SMT, the fucking like, you know, like the SMT content issue. Like it doesn't matter if like you specifically state that all the endings are equally canon. If you have so much more content on one side than another, it's going to, people are going to still feel like it's canon, because like why else would you put so much more
Well,
content
the
on that
thing
side?
is, in Fire Emblem, it's not a series where every world interconnects.
Yeah.
So
There
you
is
can
SMT.
have...
Like that's very much a minority in SMT.
Well, then it's stupid that people are bitching about that in SMT.
No. It's more like, okay. It's like the whole point of SMT is that it's an alignment system.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, when the worlds aren't interconnected, you can just go, okay, this is a set of events that happens if this is the ending that happened in the previous game.
Yeah, like, and SMT does that. Like, there's a couple of SMT games that are based specifically off of possible endings. Like,
Which ones?
they're mostly mobile games, but you've got SMT Devil's Coliseum.
That doesn't fucking count. That's a fucking yeah.
You
That's
just
like,
don't if you
I don't.
if we're gonna be technical, then shut the fuck up. But for the state, let's count it. Like, Devil's Coliseum is based off the Chaos ending of SMT1. It's a what if for the Chaos ending of SMT1. Then you've got stuff like that. You know, SMT does do stuff like that. They're not like the big games, but
Well, yeah, I want like, well, yes, but yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't count.
then you're just being kind of petty at this point. That was the thing.
So then what? So then.
I will.
Okay.
I get
Just
where
saying,
you're coming from.
if you wanted to do a game based on, like, oh, what happens after, I don't know, fucking Dimitri dies after Azure Moon.
Yeah.
Or a rebellion in Fargus after Crimson Flower. Or whatever you want to do. You could easily do that with Three Houses because of how the stories are set up.
Mhm.
I
Exactly.
guess, but like,
Thanks. I'll do my
Because
best.
it's not like it's more content in the same game. It's
well, no,
just
but it's still like more content following one particular story.
Yeah, and that's the point we're going with.
exactly.
Which is it's the same deal, just like in a different form.
Well, it's not an issue.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
this is a
no.
sequel based on this route. Not
I mean,
this is
like,
the only possible
going-
storyline that could ever happen after this game. It's just okay,
It's
so
not-
let's play with things that would happen after this ending.
I don't think we're on the same page here. So
I feel
let's
like
just
we're
move on
not.
and go take something out.
Yeah, we're
Move on to
definitely
something else.
not.
Yeah, we're definitely not. Like, I feel
Let's just
like
move on to something else here.
okay, yeah, but like what I was saying with my ideas, like they could do like little like smaller scale games of like a game that takes place like, you know, with say depending on like if you do like Silver Snow, what if Silver Snow happened? Then like you do a smaller game like
Best case scenario, it would just be 4 games. But
like 4 small
Exactly.
games.
Like,
And that's what I'm
well,
saying.
that's
like,
kind of how. That's kind of how. Like, if the whole goal is to keep all the endings canon, that's kind of what you would have to do.
yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying for Fodland, it has to be either a prequel or they have to not care, and I'd hate for them to not care. Because
Yeah.
Fodland is a really well executed story. Like the Fodland games
is,
are really
but
well executed.
I think it's putting a little bit too much stock in there is nothing that could ever come after this. Because
I get you.
the world is very different between the endings.
Like, there's definitely stuff you could do with like the after effects of like the things, but I think it would have to be like it would kind of have to be like what SMT2 was, but I know, just bear with me here. Where SMT2 is like technically speaking, it follows an intro ending, but like you could also argue that like it could also kind of sort of take place after Loki or something because it takes place so far into the future that like the world would have had to change either way.
Yeah, you know, that actually could work, you know?
That
Yeah.
would work as well. I'm just saying, I don't think it's too important to try and say, oh, there is no canon ending at all. There is no canon ending in Three Houses.
Yeah.
But there are stories that could be told after all of the ending.
And
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And that's the point I'm getting at. Is
Just-
it wouldn't be a
Oh.
bad thing if they just went with and said, okay, so there's a lot of stories you could tell in the aftermath of Crimson Flower. Let's say 30, 40 years later. You could tell stories in that setting.
Thanks a bunch.
Okay,
Because that doesn't affect the other 3 endings
Thanks
at
a
all.
bunch.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Okay, I 100% get it now. Got it.
I mean, it's not.
Okay, yeah, also, Sean brought up a good point. Speaking of canon endings, I'm reminded of how XCOM handled it. XCOM handled it in a unique as fuck way.
Isn't like the canon ending of XCOM 1 that you lose?
Okay, so when they made XCOM 2, they were like, okay, we're basing all the beginning of XCOM 2 off of how everyone does their first ever Ironman in XCOM 1. Basically,
What?
you getting your ass handed to you.
What?
Yeah, so like, pretty much when the people behind XCOM were making XCOM 2, they were like, you know what, we took in mind people's first Ironman runs, where most people usually got a game over because they screwed up. So now we're dealing with the consequences of your Ironman ending where you failed.
That might as well just be a fucking, like, completely different, like, okay, that's weird.
Well, Iron Man Run is like a built-in game mode.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I know, but
XCOM.
I'm just like, if you're running off the assumption that you got a game over, that's like that's might as well just like not even be connected to the first game.
Oh,
Like,
actually,
it could be like it could be a same universe, but like it doesn't have to be connected. Is what like to the first game.
yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to describe, but it's like
Sort of get what you mean, but it's just this. It's basically just saying, okay, yeah, you lost.
Yeah, that's
Just
basically
the
what it leads to.
assumption of XCOM 2
Yes.
to continue the story.
okay.
XCOM 2 assumes that you lost. It also, also I didn't know that, Sean, that they actually took data from, like, online stuff that showed how many players lost and everything. That's actually really cool.
That's
Okay.
pretty cool, actually.
No,
That's like that's kind of how
so it's like, so based off that, with how many people, like, oh, it wasn't just purely based on Iron Man, it's just generally how many people failed in any mode. Oh, okay. So it's like,
How much did you suck ass? That determines the sequel.
yeah yeah. How much did you suck in the first game? So we're going to create a sequel that you suck where you suck even more because of
Here goes.
because of
Storytelling, motherfucker.
what the fuck is it? What am I trying to say here? Like XCOM 2 had like those really arbitrary turn limits in every single map.
yeah.
That sounds right, but I haven't played enough XCOM 2 to know 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, that's about
yeah,
right,
like,
though, for XCOM.
yeah. Which I mean, I don't really mind because like, I just see that it like whenever you add like a turn limit or like something else to like a map, I just see that as like a part of the map that like you just have to like that's part of the puzzle basically.
Yeah.
But people fucking hated it.
I personally love XCOM 2. XCOM 2 is one of my favorite games.
I've heard that it made it to where it wasn't,
I'll give it my all.
oh, you have to play a little bit quicker, or it's not really part of the puzzle, and it more made it, there's only one way to play this. Which shouldn't be how a strategy game is.
I mean,
built.
that's
The
Eh.
kind of, I don't know. It's like people.
If there's only one way to play the map, go do a
I
puzzle.
will get the victory.
Yeah, I
You're
can
gonna
see
get the
that.
same thing.
I mean, why can't we like? Okay.
Well, okay, yeah.
Because the
XCOM,
perk of a
there's multiple ways to handle stuff. Like, whoever told you there's only one way to
As you wish.
handle, like, stuff, like, missions in XCOM are wrong.
It's like it's like it's weird.
well, I've just heard like that in XCOM 2, it could make it feel. I don't remember. I think it was like a higher
Basically,
difficulty or
with
some
XCOM
shit.
2, they wanted to like players to lean more into like the prospect of like taking risks. Basically,
Yeah.
is what it was.
Yeah.
So they created a thing that would kind of
Feeling
like
strong.
force you to like they created a system that would kind of force you to like a certain like max speed throughout the map. So like
Yeah, and I think it was just a little bit too quick for a lot of people.
yeah, like you weren't like it went beyond taking risk and more so just like playing like a fucking like
Playing like a lunatic.
being reckless basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
XCOM the entire series from day one has also encouraged you to lose.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing, and I don't mind that at all, because your units are nameless people that you can name yourself, but like,
Fucking, what was it, Sean? Marcus?
yeah.
Fucking the homie Marcus, I think? But yeah, that's just what I've heard, is that basically the turn limits were a lot stricter than they probably should have been.
They can be at times.
they did release an expansion that like really kind of like increased the turn limits.
Yeah. I heard about that too.
Yeah, like the thing with like stuff like that is like people are going to be pissed no matter what. So like I feel like it's good to be like at some point when you're making a game, you just have to say fuck this and just keep things as is.
The issue with Kieran actually brings up a good point in the chat. The issue with XCOM 2 was that the turn limits made certain upgrades / abilities significantly better than others. Like, okay, I can agree with that because like your Rangers were always the best units.
That's fair.
Because
like,
because they got the ability to hack stuff, they've got the ability to like they've got the best accuracy.
There was no like from what I remember, there was nothing that Rangers couldn't do basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that like if you're going to go that route, then I would lean more towards player choice. Like, don't put a turn limit. Maybe like a ranking system.
I can see
But
that.
The moment you're like, okay, this is a strict turn limit, and it's not a game built around that as the original premise of extremely strict turn limits and shit like that, then you just run into the risk of you're not encouraging a play style, you're forcing a play style.
Exactly. Also,
I mean, like, you can still, like, there's still a way to pull that off. It's just really, really hard to do.
Well, at some point, it's probably better to just reward players for playing quickly.
Of course.
Instead of
like,
punishing them for not playing quickly.
Of course. But
also,
it's like,
I forgot about this, but Sean brings it up. Rangers also, another reason Rangers were the best class is because melee was a 100% guaranteed hit in the game where RNG matters.
Well, damn.
So it's like they ran up, and the lowest hit rate a machete has is a 90% hit rate.
Jesus.
And it rarely misses.
I do remember XCOM being a case of like your attacks landing matters much more than like actually doing damage.
Pretty much, actually.
Yeah.
Your attacks landing matter because like the thing is like you can like if your attacks miss, you can still like cause them to fucking bleed out.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's pretty awesome.
You know, if I was a little bit like more high on the alien aesthetic of XCOM, I'd probably love it.
It's just you're not big on the alien stuff.
It's
I love alien stuff, but I really don't like that kind of alien stuff that much.
Ah, okay.
just like the alien invasion kind of deal.
Yeah, I'm much more of a man-made
if you're
horrors beyond our comprehension kind of alien.
Like The Thing and Dead Space.
Yeah, that kind of shit.
You know what? I'm excited for the Dead Space 1 remake, by the way.
That's a thing.
Yes, that's a thing.
I've never played Dead Space, but like I do vibe with its aesthetic hard.
Yeah.
Or like, have you ever watched the movie The Thing?
Yes, I have, and I fucking love that movie.
Yeah. The Thing is one of the best like horror movies out there.
Man, I fucking love horror when it's done right, but so few things do actual horror right.
The problem with a lot of quote-unquote horror is that like people get it right the first time, and then all the copycats are just like, you know what? Let's do a cheap imitation.
The thing with horror is that it needs to be kind of like you can't throw everything you have all at once.
The scariest part about anything is the fear of the unknown.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I know I saw this from like
also
a dude
because,
that...
Also something else that I have an issue with. A lot of horror isn't actually horror, it's just a thriller.
Yeah. I mean, okay, you know, speaking of a good horror thing, Alien. Wanna know how they fixed their issue of the sequels being like of the sequel? The
sequel's just an action movie.
The sequel's an action movie because at that point, you know,
But, you already know what the hell you already know what the hell the monster is, so it's like
exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is that like,
but it feels like a really natural extension of the first.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying is that you've got to make it feel natural too. But it's like,
I think something that a lot of modern horror gets really wrong is just they want their monster to be iconic, but
Yeah.
don't understand why the xenomorph is iconic,
Yeah.
or other like monsters like that. And it's like, you can't show your fucking monster in the first hour of the movie.
It's like
Can't, no.
yeah, like I think there's also like there's actually like a lot more to the xenomorph that like people like really kind of think there is, because like people always forget that like the xenomorph can do stuff like it learns, like it's so like Alien Isolation is the best like showcase this, but they xenomorphs are fucking smart as hell,
Oh yeah.
and
They
also
are.
like even if you would manage to like if you manage to like actually damage them somehow, they bleed fucking acid. It's like, how the hell do you fight this?
Mhm. The acid blood is something that a lot of like things forget about, like
Yeah,
fucking Prometheus. That hack of him.
yeah.
It's just like, oh, we're dealing with the aliens, the xenomorphs. They don't bleed on the fucking victims. It's why like one of the best zombie movies out there is 28 Days Later.
It's been a very long time since I watched 20.
Okay, so in 28 Days Later, you have to be very careful about how you kill a zombie and getting the blood on you, because the infection runs through like fluids and shit. So it's like,
Yeah, which is a cool way.
so it's like, oh, if a crow dropped an
And
eye on
it's-
you,
And it's just
a
another situation where it's like, you know, just going out into a zombie horde with a great sword and full plate mail would probably be the most effective method.
yeah, but where are you realistically gonna get all those?
I don't fucking know. You got a whole world.
That's fair. That's fair.
Go
Yeah,
to
considering
wherever
how
the
many-
last
considering-
Ren Fair
like,
was.
Considering how many zombie games have crafting system, it's kind of weird that like that's not like more common.
It's because if you wanted it to be realistic at all, it would be horribly overpowered.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Also,
Because it would be all but invincibility, and you would be able to just cleave through shit super easy.
and then 28 Days Later led to my favorite edgelordy comic series ever, Crossed.
Walking Dead.
No, Crossed.
Oh, Crossed. I don't even know what the hell that is.
It's made by a guy named Garth Ennis, and it's pretty
Okay.
much about like, what
I
if
thought
like
you said Darth Ennis.
no Garth Ennis, like Garth Ennis, and he's one of my favorite writers. He's a nihilistic son. He's a nihilistic son of a bitch. But everything he writes is so good. Like Preacher, The Boys, all done by him. But Crossed is pretty much like, what if we made zombies go to the fucking extreme?
Sorry, I'm just still laughing my ass off at. Hello there, General Ephraim.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
But yeah, with Crossed, their thing is like, what if instead of a zombie virus that was caused by the spread of fluids and stuff, what if it's a rage virus? Where like
What?
a rage virus, like pretty much where people become like violent ass cavemen, basically.
Oh.
So like
Interesting.
for example, they will start doing insane shit, like they'll surround people and then cut off their head and then like start having sex with the bodies. That kind of shit.
Okay.
So that's just that sounds like something, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's kind as it can be when it's done by other writers, it's horrible. Yeah, so Florida, it's basically Florida. But like
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah, it's basically Florida, but like yeah, but yeah, a lot of like the other writers that work on the series don't get it, but like when like Garth Ennis and Christos Gage wrote Crossed, it was like some of the most like interesting like dive into human psyche you could ever see. But it's like when you become a Crossed in the universe, they start losing all their inhibitions of like, you know, self-preservation and shit as well. So like you'd see them start like, so pretty much imagine violent like raging monsters that would just take their turn having their fun torturing you. That's Crossed.
You know,
I'm
the
trying-
joke
I'm
about
trying-
Florida
I'm
was
trying-
made,
I'm trying-
but like,
I'm trying to think of a fan base joke, but I can't.
it sounds more like San Francisco.
God.
just with a lot less STDs.
Actually, no, in Cross... Fun fact about the series Cross Plus 100, which is
God.
about the apocalypse of that series that takes place 100 years after they call C-Day. 90% of the Cross died due to STDs.
You know, sounds like San Francisco, just with a lot less STDs.
No.
God.
Here goes.
But yeah, you made that joke and, like... I would honestly recommend it, but I will say it does get insanely gory and dark.
I mean, I'm not big on zombie stuff in general, or anything
not
really
either.
like it,
I'm not either.
I can...
because, like, it has its audience. I'm just not that audience, because, like,
Yeah, like a lot of my issues with like just like
80% of them devolve into the same basic concept of
yeah, it's like
the most dangerous thing here isn't
biggest
the
issue
actual
with, like-
threat.
Oh,
my
Cross
biggest issue
doesn't
with-
even do that. Cross does not get into humans are the biggest threat. No. Like, there's only one story that does that, and then the story decides, fuck you, that's not what we're doing. And then just proves, oh, these monsters are actually the biggest thing. If someone ponders for a second, maybe humans are the real issue.
They're orbs?
But,
Pondering my orb?
My biggest issue with like stuff like zombies and even stuff like dragons and like mecha and all them like mechas and like the giant robots, not like the actual YouTuber mecha.
Yeah.
Is there's only like so many ways. There's only like so many ways you
Islamic
can.
capital.
Which like there's only so many different ways you can like do stuff with that. Granted, dragons is a little bit different because there's so many different kinds of dragons in mythology and all that. But like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just like one time it's cool. The rest of the time I just like it's like I don't know.
You just get bored after you see it the first time.
yeah.
That's fair. I think dragons are a very different case just because of how much they've evolved as, honestly, I'd say in some cases a genre. Since, like...
I prefer, like, this is going to sound really, really weird, but I prefer dragons in, like the metaphorical sense. And, like, I know that sounds really, really weird, but the best example I can think of would be someone like Ridley in Metroid.
Oh,
Because, like, he's not really, like he's kind of, like, he's not really a dragon per se, he's just kind of like a reptilian, like, alien. But, like, in the metaphorical sense, like, a dragon in the terms of, like,
if you
story,
described
a plot,
him as a dragon, you wouldn't be out of it, both in a story plot sense and a design sense.
yeah.
Well, yeah, also because like a dragon in the context of like a role in the story is sort of like the penultimate, like basically like the penultimate boss, for lack of a better way to put it.
Right.
Yeah. But
And,
like,
that's almost always what Ridley is.
Ridley is just a pterodactyl who breathes fire and has a stabby tail. Changed my mind.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong, but like,
the thing that I love about dragons is that a lot of the time nowadays, for like stories that use them properly, they're rarely even bosses. Like, they're not, for lack of a
they're
better
just kind of,
term,
like-
boss fight.
they're just kind of like events, sort of.
They're present and they're sort of distant entities.
Yeah.
And I really like that sort of mystical approach to them, rather than the it's big, scary, and breathes fire approach.
I feel
However
like...
much I love Smaug. What? Okay, no, Smaug is an awful example because he's a generic dragon done super well.
Yeah.
What is Smaug? That sounds
On
fun.
Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit.
Yeah, the Hobbit.
Oh, okay.
Which
He is the dragon. Like, when you think of dragon, you think Smaug. That is the dragon.
Oh, I know why that sounds familiar, because I think like one of the bosses in Dark Souls is called Smaug. Like, everyone's seen it, Smaug.
That wouldn't
But
surprise
he's
me.
not.
Yeah,
He's not a
Ornstein
dragon.
and Small,
so, like,
yeah.
But he's not a dragon, so that's never mind.
Yeah, but like Smaug's an awesome example because he plays into a lot of the sort of dragon tropes, but I'm not gonna sit here and ramble about what makes Smaug an amazing dragon. But I really like shit. I'm trying to think of a good example of it.
I would.
Yeah.
From what I've seen of Skyrim, like a lot of the dragons in Skyrim are really, really cool.
Oh, Skyrim
Dragons in Skyrim are fucking cool because they're hardly generic dragons.
Yeah, like a lot of them aren't even really like enemies, are they?
But-
No, most of them are enemies.
Most of them are
Oh, really?
enemies, yeah. The thing is with them, though, is
But-
like, they've got such a huge-ass presence. when you see
They've got
them,
such a big
no
presence,
shit's going down.
they've got
them,
such a big
no
presence,
shit's going down.
and because of their lore, they feel a lot bigger.
Oh.
Because dragons in Skyrim aren't.
They're
Oh
like,
no, big fire-breathing guy.
Yeah. Oh,
You were saying, Bill?
like Sean
they're,
brought
they're
up
sort
something.
of they're sort of like a they're as old as the world itself in Skyrim, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So
what
Sean
did Sean
says,
say?
I despise herder, big bungus dragon to beat up. Like, bro, you're facing an apex predator.
Man, I fucking love how Monster Hunter handles dragons.
Oh, monster.
Just Monster Hunter handles monsters is just fucking phenomenal. But I'm not going to get into the Monster Hunter rant right now.
Monster Hunter is just great from everything I see of it.
Like, I played the game for about 2 hours the day I got it and fell in love with the game.
I've heard nothing but great things about the Monster Hunter series. It's just I'm not big on the gameplay of it.
That's perfectly fair. But, like, holy shit. But anyway,
You know what?
back...
This is a... Oh, God.
I was just going to get back to the Skyrim dragons and why they're so cool.
Okay.
I'll just make this quick. The cool thing about Skyrim's dragons is they are two important things. They are extremely ancient, to the point where people thought that they were just gone. Like, there wasn't any more dragons ever. And two, they are extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
To the point of where they ruled over humanity for a very long time.
Yeah.
They are immortal lizard creatures, and they've got cool lore, like, you know how, I'm sure you guys know about, like, shouting in Skyrim.
Yes, like
Yeah,
Fluster
like
Dawn and all that.
The
That's
dragon.
how dragons breathe fire and shit.
Okay,
They
so,
don't
yeah.
just
So basically,
breathe fire.
so for example, two dragons got into a fight that would just be kind of like a debate, pretty much.
It's literally stated by Parthenax, who's pretty much the one major friendly dragon you meet, that there is no real difference between a debate and a fight among dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing to them.
I mean, like, might as well be the case in case we're humans in this day and age.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
It's dangerous.
But then you have shit like their lore. They're not just natural creatures. They're the children of Akatosh, the dragon god of time.
Yeah.
So all of them have an extremely deep connection with time itself, to
Which is
where
pretty awesome.
they can sort of manipulate it. And then the final boss of Skyrim's main quest, Alduin, also, or the World Eater, his whole thing is that he is the end of time. He is the one that brings the end of the cycle.
Yeah, which is pretty badass to think about. Weird.
Then you have the really mystical nature of dragons in Skyrim, where being dragon-blooded, or a dragonborn, doesn't mean, oh, I've got really tough skin, or I can breathe fire. No, all it means is that you are capable of mastering the Thu'um, which is the shouts,
Yeah.
the words of power, and you are able to harness that primordial magic.
Yeah.
Because the Thu'um is separate from normal magic because of its source.
Yeah.
There is no limitation except for a cooldown for gameplay reasons.
Yeah, and
and
that's only in gameplay.
Yeah, and in world, there's crazy shit like, if memory serves, Cyrodiil, the sort of central large area in the Empire, was a barren wasteland.
God.
And then Tiber Septim shouted once, and it became the flourishing place we know today.
Honestly, I should get you and my girlfriend in chat about Skyrim. You guys would have a ball.
Man, I really love Elder Scrolls, but I have no one to talk about it with.
This is going to be like a very, very strange like example for like my favorite kind of like dragons in gaming. So in Matt, you and I are not nearly as far enough into Xenoblade to really do anything for you to really understand. But basically, in Xenoblade, there are only 3 dragons in the game, and they're all sort of like, well, okay, one of them is like an actual like late game boss. One of them is the game super boss, and then one of them, and then the last one is just like a quest exclusive boss that's like may as well be a boss.
It's all
And basically, those are the only 3 dragons in the game, and they're all so fucking like strong. Like
Yeah.
Like one of them's a fucking super boss, and then the other
Yeah.
two are like just like they're really high. Like one of them is just like really high leveled and really strong. The other one has like a lot of it's got like a thing you'll see later whenever I decide to pick up Xenoblade again. There's a thing in Xenoblade called a spike effect, where basically it's like basically like whenever you perform a certain action in the battle, you'll take like sort of like little like counter damage, I guess. And the dragon like actual like story boss has like one of the strongest like spike effects in the entire game.
Yeah.
But basically like you don't need to like it's a shame that like dragons aren't really a super huge part of Xenoblade's lore, but like I would argue that doesn't really even need to be, because every single time you fight one, they're so fucking like strong and they're so fucking difficult to actually
And
fight.
the thing with I was gonna say the thing with Xenoblade that Xenoblade does really well, not even in relation to just dragons, like not just with dragons, but like in general, is like how it tells its lore in general through gameplay.
Yeah, because there's all kinds of like really cool like details in like the environment that you can just kind of pick up on.
I won't lie. I won't lie. Like the more I play about Xenoblade, the less the main story interests me as much as the world.
Yeah, that's kind of how that goes.
I will say I do really love that method of doing dragons.
Yeah.
Just making them super bosses, for lack of a better term. Just these extremely powerful creatures that maybe you don't get a lot of relevant information on right out the gate.
Yeah.
But they're huge obstacles that are going to stick out in your mind because they're a goddamn dragon.
Yeah. Because like, and also like okay, so like this doesn't apply to all three of the dragons in Xenoblade, because like the super boss is called Avalanche Abasi, and like it's following the same kind of like unique monster kind of like naming scheme, which is a little bit unfortunate. The other two dragon bosses in Xenoblade, one of them's called Dragon King Alcar, and the other one is called Demon King Dragonia. So they both have king in their names.
Yes.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like I think like the fact that there's not really much of it all in like the lore about them makes them even cooler, because it's like it's like the fact that like, but like there must be something to them, because there's very few of them in the world and they're all really strong. So it's like, what the hell's like up with these things?
Yeah, one of my favorite depictions of dragons is actually in Fairy Tail, which is outside of like a couple of exceptions, but that's just because the story lasted a really long time. But dragons in Fairy Tail are outside of the 400 years ago lore bullshit that got added in like Alvarez. They are exceedingly rare creatures that are powerful enough that they are considered godlike entities. And any mortal that isn't trained by a dragon to kill dragons stands basically no chance in hell of ever felling. And thus the birth of Dragon Slayer magic. But because dragons are, they're just people. But they're big, scaly, and mean. Not mean in a lot of cases, but okay, mean in a lot of cases. But that's besides.
They're big and scaly, like they're considered monster.
But like they're human and everything, but actual like physical appearance, basically.
Yeah, like they have very human minds. They speak. They do all this shit.
Yeah.
And the coolest part about them is the first dragon you see in Fairy Tail one-shots the entire cast.
Yeah. Also, hey, Darkyway, great to see you here.
Hey, welcome. But he one-shots the entire fucking cast and then leaves for 3 arcs.
That's fucking okay, that's how you do a badass. Like, it's like, okay, refuse to elaborate, kicks everyone's ass, leaves.
And then the next time you see that dragon is when you see the other sort of main dragons. And what happens is you meet Igneal, which is not the main character's dad in major quotation marks, because he was raised by him, but he's a dragon, so...
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But Igneal for the entire series is sort of hyped up to be again, a godlike being. Eventually, you find out he was the Fire Dragon King, and considered one of, if not the most powerful dragon on the planet.
Yeah, like that.
By a
That's
considerable margin, too.
It's clear to
Damn.
enlightening.
also. Matt, have you read the fairy tale manga or no?
Yes, I have.
Okay,
I haven't read 100 Years Quest, though.
Okay, because Dark UA just said on the topic of fairy tale, it's better not to think too hard about anything coming out of the final arc.
I'm looking sharp, huh?
I think Alvarez is really cool for its character moments, but outside of that, its lore is really messy, and a lot of its shit is just weird, but it's got good
Yeah.
fights and it's got good character moments, and that's what I'm really watching Fairy Tail for.
Is like fairy tale seems like a very more character-driven story than a plot-driven.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, by far.
And honestly, I don't mind that a lot of the time. It's like I'll say I do like world stories a lot, but if you can do
I will
a good
say-
character story, I'm down.
If you do-
I like character-driven stories as long as they don't just completely throw the pacing to the wayside in favor of character moments.
Fairy Tail does, for the most part.
Okay.
There's a couple moments where it's like, hold on. But for the most part, it is very good because the pacing is built around the character.
Yeah.
But,
which is something I can't say for One Piece because there's no pacing in One Piece.
yeah. But, the coolest part about Fairy Tail is, I've told this to Riek before, but the main character isn't Natsu or Lucy. It's Fairy Tail the Guild.
It's an ensemble cast.
It's an ensemble cast, yeah.
Yeah, but it's a much bigger cast than what ensemble generally implies.
Yeah, like it's like how okay, you won't get this example, but Del will. Final Fantasy VI.
Except
I think I vaguely get that example.
except Final Fantasy VI, have the cast is just fucking delegated to basically just like Easter eggs, which I don't like.
They are, but like it's still kind of a good example.
I think Final Fantasy 12 is a better. Oh,
Or
okay,
13
Final
actually.
Fantasy 12's
Probably
Final Fantasy
13.
12's cast is actually not nearly as big, so like maybe 6 is the best example for that. But
Yeah,
like,
But,
that's what I was saying for like the size.
Anyway, as I was about to say, the coolest part about Fairy Tail is that Lucy's the best guess for like a primary character.
Yeah.
She's not the main character, but she's the primary one.
Yeah.
but she's like
Because she's
kinda
the
sort of-
perspective character
yeah,
for the early parts of the series, and then that
yeah,
doesn't really hold up for the whole show.
yeah.
But
It's like
Then-
it's like Vaughn in FF12.
yeah, and well, Natsu is your sort of like he's your shonen protagonist here,
Yeah,
but
and then
he
what's his name,
doesn't
Gray?
get an arc. Gray's his Lancer, yeah,
yeah, Lancer, and then Urza, is that her name?
and then
It's just
Urza
like-
I want to step on me. That's besides the point. Anyway,
God damn you.
but Natsu's only times where he's really the main focus of an arc is like the last 2 arcs of the series. Because in Tartarus and Alvarez is when you start actually exploring his origins.
Alright.
Because until then, he's just kind of there. Like, you know what his goal is, but he's just kind of vibing and doing his anime protagonist bullshit.
I mean, sometimes they just gotta be able to vibe, you know?
Yeah,
But then, like, one of the first major arcs is about Gray, his Lancer.
Yeah.
Then you get an entire arc that, God, I could rant for hours about Urza. Holy shit, I love Urza.
isn't Urza like relevant pretty much right from the get go?
Yeah.
He is. She's there from pretty much the beginning.
Yeah.
And she is introduced as terrifying
Well, yeah, I
because
remember
she
that.
is.
Yeah.
But her coolest part is that one of the earlier arcs, the Tower of Heaven,
Mhm.
revolves around her. And the whole arc is showing her at her worst. She is getting destroyed emotionally for that entire arc. But because Fairy Tail is, fairly cheesy, it's all about found family, yada yada,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she doesn't have to
Then-
face it alone. And that's the whole point of that arc.
Yeah. I mean, that's not even cheesy. That's just well, it probably is cheesy.
It's
in
cheesy, but it's a
execution,
good
it's
kind of
like,
cheesy.
like
Yeah.
it's lighthearted is all it is.
Yeah, lighthearted.
I'm sure you did.
But like,
Because cheesy is something that's like based on like execution, not like in concept.
but just Urza's a super well done character because while she is, for all intents and purposes, for pretty much the whole of the first season, invincible.
Yeah.
There's only 3 or 4 villains that could realistically do away with her easily.
Yeah.
Like, there's several that she would lose to, but
But very few of the two would actually like die to, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's even fewer that she wouldn't be able to anime bullshit her way through.
I like how
but-
you just are like anime bullshit your way through.
I mean, that's the best way to put it.
Yeah. But, like, there's a whole fucking thing about, like, there's an illusion mage, but his illusions don't work on her because one of her eyes is fake. It's
Ooh, this is my
Ezra's
Fucking
fight with the
weird.
tree dude on the island is one of the most annoying bits in the series, unfortunately. That's what
it's
Darky
very bleh. I don't mind it too much, but
No, that just
it's
that,
definitely one of the low lights of Tenro.
that just like the whole thing with like the illusions not working on Urza because when her eyes are fake. That just reminds me of like fucking Rick, you know, like in JoJo Part 4,
I
like
know what
fucking
you're
like
about to say.
Rohan like is trying to
Use Heaven's Door on
He's a stand-
Josuke.
yeah, but like he previously just like insulted his hair, which like for reference, Matt, like insulting Josuke's hair is like how like you die basically. And
Yeah.
and basically like his stand ability doesn't work on Josuke because he's just too fucking pissed at Rohan to really even care.
Yeah, like he's too pissed at Rohan and like he just is like too focused on oh my wow mo Shinderu.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what's going through Josuke's mind at that exact moment. You insulted his fucking hair. He's like, oh my wow mo Shinderu. Fuck you. Die. Like,
But yeah, like Fairy Tail definitely has a lot of anime bullshit. But again, it's not like most shonen where the goal is to be the strongest fighter or some shit.
Yeah.
Like there is no one who wants to be the Hokage
yeah,
or
it's-
anything like that.
It's
the
just about a mercenary
goals
guild, right?
And even then, like
think.
oh,
pretty
God.
much a mercenary guild.
It kind of
It
reminds.
is.
It's kind of like I'm gonna say like a take that people will say I'm insane for saying, but it sounds
boy.
like it's anime Firefly.
I've never seen Firefly, so.
I can't say anything on that.
But because none of the character goals, except for like 1 or 2 of them,
That looks
is to become stronger.
Oh,
Like-
okay.
Yeah.
Most
I
of
will
their
say-
goals are protect my family. And in Natsu's case, it's find Igneo. In Lucy's case, it's become a full-fledged wizard. In Gray's case, it changes like every 2 arcs. In Urza's case, it's to deal with her past and come to terms with everything.
Yeah.
And then you have characters like Kana, who wants to become an S-class wizard, but she also needs to talk to her father, who's a member of the guild. That gets dealt with eventually, but Kana's not really a main character for long.
okay.
And then you have characters like Loxus, whose character arc is
As
deciding which family is his, between his father and his grandfather.
Mhm.
And
Not a
yada
bad
yada yada.
conflict.
There's
But
you mentioned you used like becoming the Hokage as an example, which was like leading me to I think like people like I think Naruto actually gets a bit of like a bad rep when it comes to like people think it's simpler than it is.
I'm
And
just
like-
saying, like, Naruto's
Yeah,
goal
I-
is become the Hokage.
Well, okay, I think it's actually a bit more to it than that because like that's what it started as, but it eventually became like the way I like to look at it is like Naruto like back at the very beginning of the series was obviously very very young, and like
Yeah.
I think what like Naruto ultimately wants is to just be like this is me going on like a tinfoil hat, right? So just bear with me for a moment.
Of him to be acknowledged. He wants to be acknowledged by people.
Yeah. He just wants to be like acknowledged and accepted as like a person. And like because
Yeah.
like he's so young at the beginning of the series, he's like okay, he's like he looks probably looks like the fucking like the like Mount Rushmore Hokage, whatever the hell. And he's like people really respect Hokage. Maybe if I become the next Hokage, people will accept me too.
Because he's
Yeah.
he's a pariah when he's a child.
Yeah.
And the
But
whole story is him, shedding that whole pariah stuff.
Yeah.
I
But-
just
and
use
it-
that
'cause,
as
like-
an
'cause, like,
example because
yeah.
that's a goal that requires strength, and that's the primary way of achieving that goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Like-
to
like-
use
like,
the Dragon Ball example, Goku wants to fight the strongest guys.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better example.
Yeah.
Like,
Like basically like at the end of like Naruto's like the pain arc of Naruto, like Naruto, I don't know. I'm of the mind that like Naruto should have probably ended shortly after the pain arc because
it
like
probably should have. You're right. 'Cause-
because at the end of the pain arc, like Naruto's not the Hokage yet, but he's celebrated in the village as a hero, and like you can tell that like that's like after that like basically like the only really like loose end in Naruto's whole story is saving Sasuke, right?
yeah, and you can
and
just
it's like-
add that onto that,
Yeah. It's like Naruto didn't quite get what he set out what he stated to set out to be, but like you can tell that like he's happy now.
mhm.
Good to see you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just saying there's no goals in Fairy Tail outside of
Yeah.
maybe one or two characters where their goal is to become stronger or to become the strongest there is.
Yeah.
The closest you get to that is in the Grand Magic games, where the
Which are
goal is to prove Fairy Tail is the best guild once again. But
Which,
that's less of
that
a...
kind of sounds like a tournament arc.
It is, but it's a very fun tournament arc.
Okay.
But the thing about it is, the point is less, oh, Fairy Tail's the greatest, and it's more, my family has been insulted and dragged through the mud because of my absence.
Yeah.
I'm going to put a stop to this in the most fucking flashy way I can.
Sounds about right.
And it's just fucking great. Like, the sort of thing that I heard once is if you really love the premise of Fairy Tail, you're going to love the Grand Magic game. But if you don't like the premise of Fairy Tail, you're going to hate the Grand Magic games.
Yeah.
Because it is full of a lot of anime bullshit.
Yeah.
It really is.
But it's a lot of anime bullshit that feels really good.
I am
Yeah.
ever so grateful.
Because you see what the guild has been reduced to in the 7-year time skip.
Yeah.
Because they thought all of their primary members were dead.
Mm.
And this is also how Makarov ends up as the 3rd, 5th, and 8th guildmaster.
3rd, 5th, and 8th. What the?
I'm
Yep.
guessing there's more to it than that.
He's the 3rd guildmaster at the start of the series. Then, when they think he's dead, Macau takes over as the guildmaster, as the 4th guildmaster.
And then he comes
Then when
back.
they get back, Makarov then becomes the guildmaster again, making him the 5th guildmaster.
My God,
And then he tries to pass it on to Guild Arts.
is Makarov the like the small old guy that's like the mentor
Yes.
character? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about. Okay.
But then no, I think he's the 3rd, 6th, and 8th.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm pretty sure Urza is the 7th guildmaster. And then when Makarov is back, he just makes him guildmaster.
God.
I would also like to point out he dies like 6 times. Not like actually dies, but he's like on his deathbed like 6
He like
Like, people
he
think
gets
he's
his-
died, like,
he gets
six
his
times.
mentor arc like 6 times over, basically.
Well, it's not that people think he's died, it's he's going to fucking die, Aloxus. It's just
And then he
it
proceeds
just
to prove
happens
everyone
several
wrong.
times. Yeah, usually it's because he gets healed because now everyone can actually fucking help him instead of fighting, but
Yeah.
Oh. I've almost certainly said this before. Matt, do you watched My Hero Academia, right?
yes, I haven't seen season 5 yet though.
Okay. Honestly, All Might is like I think is my favorite way of how like a mentor has been handled in like a non.
All Might died, but Toshinori did not.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I love that.
yeah, exactly.
Honestly, that was a great... that was, like, one of the best ways to handle it, straight up.
Yeah, and you could like another thing I love about that fight is that like you can like like it was always kind of clear that like All Might wasn't just talking out of his ass when he's like trying to be like the
We were
like the stand like the hero that like everyone like you know what I'm trying to say
I
like
think the coolest part about All Might as a character is whenever you first meet him, if you're anywhere near familiar with this kind of story,
Yeah.
like, this guy's too good to be true.
Yeah.
And then he is,
Stay focused.
Yeah.
but not for any of the reasons you think.
yeah no like he's too good to be true because he's just physically incapable of being the truth.
Yeah,
That's
And-
the best way to put that, but whatever.
I love that because it's such a cool variation on that trope.
Have I
Because he was everything people said he was and so much more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's another thing I've like. That's another thing I love about like the All Might versus All for One fight because like you can like even when he's being like slowly like being reduced to like
will prevail.
not being able to fight anymore, he's still trying his absolute darndest. Like
Yeah.
you can tell he's not like he says he wants to be like a hero, and you can see that he means that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
He means
just
that's something serious.
I also just love the shit with Night Eye after that.
Yeah.
Because then
yeah.
you find out that that's probably the fight that Night Eye saw. But Night Eye didn't think about Toshinori.
He
Yeah.
thought about.
All he cared about was All Might.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, God.
So he saw that All Might died.
I'll be honest. The whole fight with Overload is one of the best fights in the entire fucking series. Like
I mean,
Overhaul.
Overhaul.
and like the whole thing with like that whole arc is just top tier. But
It
like,
is.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
That arc was so good for so many reasons.
Yeah.
Like, from what I've seen of like the shit that's going on in the manga right now,
Um.
it's not good.
Yeah.
The problem is,
But-
I feel like the manga right now is giving into the fan service that people
Yeah.
like. It's like there was a throwaway line that was clearly a throwaway line, but they're going with it now because the fans didn't shut the fuck up about it.
Another
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
Like-
I think I also kind of like fault Horikoshi for that too, because like even if like regardless of whether he meant for that to be a big thing, he still kind of framed it as if it was a big thing.
I can see that, but
So like
it's the,
Like, that's the
it's the
thing,
same
like, that's
issue
the thing, like-
Kishimoto had.
that's the thing about like storytelling, like presentation is everything.
Yeah.
It's the same issue Kishimoto had with Naruto a lot, because like he wanted to like, because like the fans need to be placated at the same time, even if it's an obvious even if it's like that's the predictable way to go.
Yeah.
Like, how have we all finished reading Naruto here, or no? At least no.
I've barely even started, but I don't care about spoilers. I will
Okay.
forget them by the time I get
I
there.
can't bring my I don't care enough about the Great Ninja War arc to finish it.
Okay, so like we know that Naruto's father turned out to be the fourth Hokage, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like,
That's
yeah.
something you kind of assimilate just in the anime community.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, that's ridiculous. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's like, you also gotta remember fans were demanding that to be the thing, you know?
And
Because,
that just reminds me of the funny story of Bardock.
oh, Bardock. He was
A
an
character
average fighter,
that was-
but a brilliant scientist.
Entirely a non-canon character.
Mm-hmm.
He was from a TV special.
Mm-hmm.
And he was so fucking cool that Toriyama made him canon.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, sometimes when Toriyama makes the decision to make someone canon, it's the best decision, like Super Broly.
Fucking goddamn bro! Like, holy shit!
No, I'm glad that they actually fixed Broly, because I actually hate Z Broly.
DBZ Broly was cool in the part of the fan base that really likes watching two monkey dudes beat the shit out of each other. Which I
Yeah.
think everyone that likes DBZ likes every now and then.
Yeah, that's pretty much the DBZ fan base. Watching two monkeys beat the shit out of each other.
So what
Like-
you're saying is now I understand why I don't like Dragon Ball. Well, I
But-
can't say I don't like it. I've never seen.
It's
I,
not,
I've
well,
it's not
seen
your
it
cup of
advertised.
tea.
That's
Yeah,
only
yeah.
certain parts of it.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure
like
there's like
Broly in particular was the worst offender for that.
okay.
Yeah. The problem with Broly is that, like... But then we've got
His
Super Broly.
backstory was, and then there's Dragon Ball Super Broly.
Like,
The
I'm
holy grail of Dragon Ball content.
Oh yeah, I'm ready for the next movie coming next year. You know?
Oh, superhero looks like fucking fire.
Dude, yes. God damn.
Gohan, holy shit. Sorry.
Please let Gohan shine. Don't just don't.
He's in the movie.
I know, but I'm hoping that they
That's
don't.
more than he was in Broly.
That's more than he's been in the entirety of fucking Super too.
Oh fuck, Gohan's back, boys. For like the 12th time.
Yeah. God.
It's been
What
so
have I
long.
started?
It's been so long, Gohan. We've
What
missed
have I
you.
started? What have I started?
Fucking
You started us two fangasming
God.
about like fucking Dragon Ball, because Dragon Ball is a simple action series, but when it does its stuff well, it does its stuff so fucking well.
Dragon
Yeah.
Ball at its core is a lighthearted comedy series that evolved into an action series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, original
And-
Dragon Ball is so different from modern DBs.
Even if you don't like DBZ, I would legitimately recommend that you give the original Dragon Ball series a try.
Oh yeah, original.
Because
Ah.
it's a very different beast,
Yeah.
and it falls a lot more in line with... It's almost episodic in a lot of ways.
It is episodic in a lot of ways, really. Like, not
And-
just almost, but it is.
Its storytelling is a lot more scaled down.
Yeah, like,
Because the largest scale enemy in the original Dragon Ball anime was Piccolo Jr.
yes.
And Piccolo Jr. didn't really care to destroy anything.
No, Piccolo Jr.
Really,
just-
all he cared about was proving that he was stronger than Goku.
And yes, and that was...
And holy shit, that fight!
Honestly, I love early Dragon Ball so much.
Early Dragon Ball fights got fucking brutal sometimes.
They did, like, they're more down-to-earth fights. To their benefit. Old.
Yeah, I fucking love early Dragon Ball fights. And
And
like, Dragon Ball fights are at their best when they're on the ground. You have shit like the most underrated fight in the entire fucking series, and I would say in all of fucking Shonen, is Piccolo versus 17.
Oh, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
That fight and Goku versus Cell are two of the best fights I've ever seen in any anime ever.
Oh, Goku versus Cell is just...
They're both very grounded fights, and it feels like you're watching two people beat the shit out of each other.
Yes, it's so good.
And while with Piccolo and 17, it feels more like a brawl, where it's like, it's two dudes that are at their wits' end just trying to kill the other.
Pretty much, and...
Then you have Goku versus Cell, which it's showing off all of this crazy shit you can do with these techniques.
Yeah.
And it makes it into a super fun fight, because pretty much none of it is in the air. Toss on shit that Cell does with like the after image technique, the instant transmission Kamehameha, the fucking Destructo Disc usage in it.
Yeah.
Fucking just so much cool shit.
I'm 5 seconds away of DMing a lady asking her how she puts up with this.
She doesn't. I don't talk about Dragon Ball with her much.
Yeah, no, he talks about Dragon Ball with me all the time because I listen.
He's the only guy around me that actually understands what I'm saying.
Sorry, I just needed to make that jab.
And no,
That's fair.
Yeah, but no, me
But like,
and Matt will talk all day about Dragon Ball if he like comes up to me.
speaking of fucking brutal fights that are just super great, Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2 Goku,
Oh yeah.
that fucking fight is brutal and I love it. Then there's shit like fucking Goku and Piccolo Jr., which is, again, like, the best fight in the series. It's not my favorite. I think my favorite fight in the series is... Honestly, it's Goku v Vegeta round 1.
You're too late.
Like,
Really?
the fucking Saiyan Saga fight is just so cool.
I mean, I can agree with that actually, because the Saiyan Saga is really good.
Like, its fights have a lot of that brutality from the original Dragon Ball.
It was before,
Because a lot of them are very grounded still.
It was before it went off the wall with its like fights, you know?
Well, I think Z did a really good job of just all of its like important fights were really good. Because like Goku and Frieza on Namek is a fucking amazing fight.
Yeah.
Hell, Vegeta and Frieza is an amazing fight. All 3 times.
Oh yeah. I forgot that it happened more than like twice.
I think he tries.
I'm amazed it only happened 3 times. I thought that was like the recurring joke.
No, Frieza only comes back 2
Oh,
times.
Frieza. I thought you said Vegeta. Sorry, never mind.
No, Vegeta versus Frieza happened.
Oh, okay, yeah. I thought you
He
said
fought-
Goku. I thought you said Goku versus Vegeta. I'm like, isn't that?
Goku versus Vegeta has only happened.
Like as a
twice.
big fight, like it's only happened like.
As a big fight, no, it's happened twice. Because
Oh.
there was the one in the Saiyan Saga, and then there was the one in the Buu Saga with Majin Vegeta.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking. When I was saying that, I was saying like just regular, not
Oh yeah, there was only ever one like fight with
regular Vegeta.
with regular Vegeta.
I don't count
Um,
Majin Vegeta because Majin Vegeta is Vegeta like not really like kind of being him, but at the same time it's like
It's just Vegeta, but one aspect of him was exaggerated a lot.
yes, exactly.
So like Dark Vegeta sort of.
Yeah, it's like
Sorta,
a dark
yeah.
Vegeta.
But
Yes.
it's more Vegeta was always kind of dark, like, because he's a good guy after Namek, but he's always had a big he always has a big tension with Goku,
Yeah.
and then Goku dies before they get to have their rematch against Cell.
Yeah.
So Vegeta for 7 years is training to fight no one.
Yeah.
And he finally gets his chance at the World Tournament. And then that gets ripped away from him.
Yeah.
And that's how you end up with Majin Vegeta, because then Vegeta feels like there's no possible way he could close the gap after he sees what Goku has become in 7 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so he lets Babidi into his mind and body to give him this enhanced power, but through sheer force of will breaks the mind control part of it and just gets the boost in power.
And that's honestly just so badass. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
And like, you know, in any other anime, it would be like, all right, let's kill Majin. No, then he proceeds to beat the shit out of Goku.
yes, exactly.
Thank you so
But
much.
then, like, after that, he fucking blows himself up to try and save the world.
Like, no, honestly, I'm glad there's one thing that got retcon. Like, no, there's one thing that I won't lie. I actually did like GT a bit, but there's one thing I'm glad that like is now not canon because of
Dude.
retcon.
Dude, don't even fucking talk to me, but I fucking love GT.
Same. But I'm just
Like,
saying there's
its first arc is awful, but everything once you get to Baby, oh my god,
Yeah, no.
spicy meatball.
no, I loved GT so much, but there was one thing I did dislike. Didn't they put a limit on how many times you could be revived?
No, that was always there.
Oh, that was?
Yeah, because you could only make the same wish once.
Oh, okay.
You could not ask Shenron for the same wish a second time.
Even from like someone else doing the same wish?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Shenron could grant a vague wish that just happens to include your wish.
Oh,
Like you can't ask Shenron revive Krillin and then revive Krillin again 3 years later. No, you have to say revive Krillin, and then 3 years later you can say revive everyone killed by Majin Buu.
yes.
Thank you.
Anyway, you were about to say though?
That just I I don't know. That just made me like reacts like a little like a I guess like assumption. I don't like calling it an assumption, but I don't know what else to like misconception. I guess. Just reminds me of like fucking okay. So, Matt, Final Fantasy 12 is
Oh,
really
no.
good. Final Fantasy 12 is really good. Final Fantasy 12 Revenant Wings is
Awful.
from a gameplay standpoint, it bores me to tears, but I actually do really like the story. And like, I just remember like fucking like, I was like, but like Ray of War in advance, like apparently like it ruined like 2 of the biggest character deaths in Final Fantasy 12. First of all, there's really none. Second of all, like I was going through that, I'm like, what the fuck is Ray talking about? That I literally had to ask him like, hey, what the hell did you mean? And he thought that like 2 of the playable characters, Balthier and Fran, died at the end of the game. And it's like, no, they didn't. It's pretty heavily implied that they survived that.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I just was going off of like a vague memory of like playing it like years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Are you? Do you remember enough about like the fucking like the story to really even like say anything on the 2 antagonists?
It's been. I need to play it again. Like I'm gonna.
I would suggest looking up like a some sort of like synopsis or like a recap.
But I am gonna be playing those games on stream anyway.
I get it. That's gonna be fucking forever though. Like you and I are gonna be doing that pretty much like I need to finish 13-2, then I need to play Lightning Returns, then I need to finish FF7 Remake, and then I'm going to play the Final Fantasy Tactics games, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be done and over with long before you ever get to FF12.
Maybe. Depends on how long it takes.
I mean, how long are the Tactics games?
Tactics games don't take that long. I will say that Tactics 1 is a slow as fuck game.
Okay.
But I will say it's one of my.
Because I know 13-2, I know 13-2 is not that long, and 13-3 doesn't, or Lightning Returns doesn't seem to be that long either. So.
It's not really that long, but I will say it's one of those games that encourages you to side quest. To power yourself
Let
up.
me see how long I actually have logged on Lightning.
That means I'm going to blitz through the main story and then decide to replay it later doing all the side content.
But the thing, it's. Have you played Majora's Mask?
Yes.
It's got that time limit thing. That you can manipulate and everything.
So
I did.
Wait, so when you say it's like Majora's Mask, you mean like literally like Majora's Mask Final
Yes.
Fantasy? No. Okay, I see. That.
I did what I'm guessing is like a slightly slower than usual playthrough, and mine is about 35.9 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the average first playthrough will be about like 36 to 40 hours.
I mean, I finished. I don't know. I had an example of mine, but I just lost it.
I mean, I'm sure you'll do it faster now. I'm just saying, like, that's about how long it took me.
I know.
So...
I have this weird like thing whenever I'm playing through like a game blind with Riek, or I say with Riek, but like I'm just kind of playing myself. I'm just kind of like cataloging my thoughts to Riek. I have a weird habit of like finding all like the optimal strategies like immediately. I don't know why it is, but it's like.
Also, side note.
What's a good example, Riek?
1 second. I didn't know that you could do support like between 2 characters. I didn't know that like. I know Marianne and like Cynthia have a support, but I haven't recruited either of them. I didn't know you could access those supports before you recruited them.
Yeah, you can do that.
I did not know that.
Usually it's really weird to unlock them because you're probably not feeding people that you don't have recruited, but
usually it's like whenever you're trying to recruit 2 people from two people from the same house, and you just do that by continuously like getting feeding them like meals.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ray, what's an example of like a game where I figured out like a lot of like the optimal stuff like immediately?
They're not the game
just,
of life.
What?
God. The game where you figured out shit immediately.
I know. I immediately figured out how fucking good like grenades were in FF7 for like the first half of the game.
Yeah, FF7. Whatever the fuck you did in like how quickly you broke FF8.
Yeah, I junctioned like every single like fire thing to Squall, or no, not to Squall, to Irvine. And like Irvine himself is already like really fucking strong. Never mind his like junctioning like the best like strength booster magic to him.
Yeah.
I should replay Lightning Returns soon. It's a fun game.
You should play the 13 trilogy sometime.
I know, I need to.
FF13 is like really fucking good.
13 is an underrated game. People hate on it, and they really shouldn't. Like, I get it.
No.
I get it. It doesn't have your quote-unquote freedom. Fuck your freedom. Like, take that out of context.
Val talking about class systems.
It's a game that's not afraid to do something that like might be a little less fun for the sake of telling a story.
And I will gladly take that.
Which, like, honestly, I think we need more games like that.
Like, don't make it completely unfun to do that, but it's like,
Right, but,
13
like-
doesn't do that.
Yeah, like, 13 is, like,
I aim for
it's very
greatness.
different from, like, well, I guess it's different from, like, the more, like, classic, like, FFs that, like, people remember a lot of, but,
Yeah.
like, it's still good. It's very different.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of people, like get into up their own ass.
Also because people hate it because it's not Final Fantasy X, which, like, honestly, good.
Good, yeah, fuck Final Fantasy X. My dick. I will forever openly bash Final Fantasy X because that's one of the most pretentious ass games I've ever fucking played. And if there's something I hate, it's pretentious up your own ass bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I ranted about this last night, but like fucking the new Star Wars movies. You know how they try to be subversive for their bullshit.
Or how about the fucking, like, how about the last season of Game of Thrones?
Fucking Game of Thrones, yeah, Game of Thrones, fucking
Like, people can tell when you're purposely trying to subvert shit.
when you're trying to subvert and being up your own ass about it.
Like, here's the thing, here's the thing, tropes are not a bad thing. The only thing a trope means is that your audience is understanding what's going on here.
Oh, Matt, you're saying something?
I was like, I don't think you're gonna win this, and then he missed.
And no, I got this.
Yeah.
You would have lost if he didn't miss that first attack, though.
I had it.
But yeah, like fucking stop being so hard on tropes, people. Like, tropes are good.
Tropes
They're
are
actually-
good, like, the thing is, tropes aren't bad, it's how you use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Go watch the entire Trope Talk series on OSP,
Yes,
and then write
precisely.
your story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's faint, but still, we can't.
I will say, though, I do think a lot of this stuff is, like, Red kind of, like, not understanding the point of, like, some of the stuff that she's talking about.
Yeah.
Well, but when it comes to the shows in particular, she uses as examples. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like for example, when she was ragging on, like, Thanos in, like, her True Evil video.
Mm-hmm.
like Thanos is, like... like, calling Thanos a True Evil villain, just, like,
He
it's
is not a true evil villain at all.
No.
No.
And I don't, like, he didn't even start as that in the comics, did he?
No, he started out as a villain in the comics.
Well, no, like an actual true evil villain.
Well,
Like
his whole entire thing has always been about death,
Personally,
but for a different
Right,
reason.
but like,
It's
is he,
because
like,
he wants to get some of that hot
Is he
Reaper
trying-
puss.
Is he like reveling in his like villainy though?
Yes, he is actually.
Yeah,
Is
I
he?
think so.
You see, he's much better done. In,
Okay, so that's okay. That's just.
he's much better
like,
done
adaptation,
in the movies than in the comics.
Is he?
Yeah.
Thanos in the comics, his whole thing is, oh, if you see, Death will now be my girlfriend because I've now killed half the universe. But that turns on him because it turns out, oh, killing half the universe, that makes you more powerful than Death, and because of that, and Death decides I don't want to be with you because I'm below you now.
Isn't it stupid?
That's legit what happens.
Yeah, it's funny. But
It's
really my gold standard for true evil villains is and always will be Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza's just the, like, for a good true evil villain, you just need someone who is, as I call it, chaotic dick.
Yeah, just like yeah,
The-
like
The most important part for a true evil villain is charisma.
yeah.
I have something
The
to
best,
ask of you.
the best
I have
true,
something to
the
ask
best
of you.
pure
I
evil
have
villain I've
something
ever
to
seen
ask
is
of you.
Hades and Kid Icarus Uprising, which I know that's like a very normie pick.
Oh no,
like,
but it's still a good pick. Normie is not
yeah.
a bad thing. You know, people say, oh, you chose the obvious pick.
May
Your
I
obvious pick
But-
is good.
There's a reason why it's the obvious pick.
Yeah, an obvious pick is a good, doesn't have to be bad. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing
I
this.
haven't played Kid Icarus at all, but I can take a guess.
I cannot fucking stand the controls, but I love everything else.
We need a Switch remake of that game.
We do. We need a yeah.
Like, if Skyward Sword can actually become playable after being put on the Switch.
Of course.
I mean, it was playable, but before it just.
If it, well, okay, if it didn't have the shitty motion control.
Yeah. I mean, they weren't really even. They weren't shitty. They were just really finicky. Like that's just
Yeah,
kind
and
of
a
an
lot
issue
of
with,
that
like,
was
Wii
down
Motion
to the
Plus.
hardware.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
Wii Motion
no.
Plus actually had a lot of issues.
Yeah, like I'm saying, but like if Kid Icarus can be like a game where you don't have to break your fucking 3DS to play it.
Like, I think you would break your fucking like wrist before you break your 3DS.
Okay, before you break both, put it on the fucking Switch and you're fine.
But yeah,
It's like-
True Evil
it's like-
Villains are.
It's like the fucking copy pasta where it's like the guy like it's like the guy who like masturbated so hard that like he made his leg numb. It's like I
What
feel
a
like your
fucking
arm would go
legend.
numb before your. It's like I feel like your arm would go numb before your leg.
What a fucking legend.
Probably, but at that point, wouldn't that make it feel better?
What? Because I don't.
Because
Even
then
think
it's
you would
like
feel
someone else is giving you a hand job.
It. I don't even think you would feel it.
Well, your dick wouldn't be numb.
I guess, but like, well, I feel like your dick would go numb before your arm.
I mean, like maybe. I don't fucking know
Why
the
are we having this
statistics of this
conversation?
man's
Sean,
dick.
Endgame starts reveling in it, but that's because the MCU also realized, oh shit, we gotta retain a status quo, and
Yeah, they very heavily retconned Thanos in Endgame.
Endgame's also just not a good movie. Hot fucking take.
And game sucks.
I think Endgame has a lot of cool shit in it, but then its execution is just mediocre to god awful.
Yeah.
Like I still like Endgame more than I do Age of Ultron, but like that's
Oh,
just
yeah.
because I'm
Same.
that's just because I'm super fucking salty about Quicksilver and that still.
Oh, same.
Yeah, that was
And also
real
like
stupid.
and also Ultron was just like really fucking messy in that movie. It's like he was kind of sort of doing his thing that he portrayed himself as in the comics, but he also kind of wasn't. And
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
But yeah, like True Evil Villains are a fun way of doing stories. Cause if you do them right, they don't have to be the main villain.
No.
They can just be this terrifying side show that you're just sitting there concerned about the entire story.
Yeah, it's like
Like-
Garneth.
it's like a good way to like. I know Red said this in her video, but it's like a good way to make a pure evil villain seem like more than they are is to give them like a sidekick sort of deal.
Yeah.
And so,
Mhm.
It can be a little hard to
which like I don't know, I feel like
Very
she used like fucking like Darth Vader and like Emperor Palpatine as an example, but it's like I feel like they kind of
Wait, you can go back and talk to Seth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to go back to unlock the graveyard.
No,
Yeah.
you don't.
Yes, you do.
You do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you
You
do.
do.
I just go straight from Seth to Gerald.
That doesn't work. It still blocks you off.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, I
I-
think she's resting.
Okay, I would have to test it, but that would require me to have actually like some Joy-Cons that work. but, in time.
One day.
As I think you might have to talk to Leone, but you can just go straight to Gerald.
Anyways, what I was going to say, before that, does she use like fucking like Darth Vader and Emperor Palpatine as an example? But like, I feel like they both kind of share like the spot for like the main antagonist of like the original
Yeah,
trilogy.
They definitely are. They
I can
definitely.
see that.
Like Darth Vader is not a sidekick.
I sincerely hope the saint's coffin.
He's
is not
arguably the bigger threat overall.
Yeah,
Were you using?
like Emperor like Palpatine is like the big bad in terms of like the actual like the events within the story, but like Darth Vader is the main antagonist for the like story. I know that sounds ridiculous, but that's not. I don't know how else.
I
to put
get
it.
what you're saying.
Yeah,
Palpatine is the influence of the plot. Vader is
Is the
the
one driving
plot.
is the one driving it. Yeah.
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 I appreciate your effort.
But
It's-
yeah,
it's
they're
like-
just
Sorry,
they're a
go ahead.
fun tool when you want to use them.
Yeah.
And as long as you use them right, they can be some of the best villains ever.
Why is that
Yeah.
fish
Also,
in
like
my
pure evil doesn't mean they can't have nuance. It just that like you need to do it right.
Yeah.
Like I think I would actually consider like Arden in FF15 to be a pure evil villain, but
Oh,
like
yes.
he's still got a lot of nuance.
The
For one
Arden,
thing, he actually has like people say like giving a pure villain, like a prequel, it's like the worst thing you do. Arden has a prequel, and it's the best part of fucking FF15.
Yeah, episode Arden's one of the best episodes ever. Fucking, like, one of the best stories ever.
I have an interesting question for. I don't know if either of you know enough about him, but Handsome Jack,
I could use
Fuck yeah.
and whether he would be considered a pure evil villain or
Yes.
Yes.
From what I've heard, yes.
okay.
The ironic thing about being a pure evil villain, it's how you carry yourself.
Yeah, because Jack's whole thing is, if you want to talk charisma,
Is this it?
He's got charisma out his butt stallion.
he's everyone's favorite character.
Yeah.
Again, much like Arden in Final Fantasy 15 is like a fan favorite.
Is this it?
Because like they've got charisma out their fucking, as I call it, butt stallion.
Is this it?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Can we
But,
call,
like-
Is this it? There you go.
To
I'm trying
clarify for Dell, Butt
Yeah.
Stallion is a diamond pony,
yeah.
not like
Is this
a
it? There you go.
pony covered in. No, it is a living creature made entirely out of diamond that is also a pony.
Is this it?
Yes.
How does that work?
It's
It
Borderlands.
doesn't because it's Borderlands.
Okay.
Back anytime.
You got all you gotta say for Borderlands is it's Borderlands. Shut up.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
Okay.
It's definitely a series you don't ask too many questions
And no,
about.
Borderlands is a series where you're just as like, okay, I'll take this on. I'll take this as it is.
But like, just fucking Handsome Jack's voice lines are.
Like,
You know, I
That's a-
considered naming it after you and calling it Piss for Brains, but I feel like that might be a little immature.
yeah, that line is
Yeah.
that line. I fucking love that line so fucking much.
That when he tells the fucking story when you first get to the, like, I think it's the Highlands, and he's talking about how he gouged the guy's eye out with a
Oh
spoon
yeah, and he's
while
just like
laughing his ass
I was-
off.
Yeah, that's such a good. I have seen that.
Yeah.
And then you have, like, once you kill Angel, and holy shit. Does he go from, haha, funny, handsome, to the scariest fucking creature you've ever seen?
Handsome Jack is a top tier villain because of how 0 to 100 he goes.
It's
Like
like,
when you piss him off.
It's almost like Kefka, but like Kefka just kind of starts at 0 and gradually grows to 100.
Kefka-
Jack is
He doesn't go
fucking
back
with
and
you
forth.
for
Yeah.
the entire game. And then you kill his daughter. Not against her will. No, she wanted you to kill her.
yeah.
And then she dies. And you figure out, oh, that's the Jack that took over the entirety of the 6 galaxies.
This fucking psycho.
And it's like it's
Oh, no. That...
it's hard to make a death stick in a game like Borderlands.
But they do
But-
it. It's why
Holy shit, Roland and Scooter.
okay,
For
there's
two entirely different reasons. But
Borderlands 2 though is one that I'll just say this straight up because we're closing on this stream. But Borderlands 2 is one of the best narratives in gaming, hands down.
oh yeah.
For such a
yeah.
ridiculous series. Like, people love it for its memes, but even when you, like, go past the memes, Borderlands, it's brilliant. Like, Borderlands 2 in specific is...
Yeah, like that's like a story that like manages to like a silly story that manages to still be like genuinely competent in terms of like its structure. That's like the sign of a good story.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you toss on Handsome Jack being, I'd say, one of the greatest villains in all of video game history.
Mhm.
And great gameplay, fun loot systems, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because there's only even really one part of the game where it feels like the gameplay flow is off. And that's like right before you go into the Wildlife Preservation Reserve.
Yeah.
Because if you're just doing main quests, I think you're like 3 or 4 levels under-leveled for that area.
Yeah.
But that's also after a section of the game where you're expected to do side quests because you're not able to go back to your main base.
Yeah, exactly.
This.
Anyway, I will shut the fuck up about Borderlands 2 because I will go on for hours.
We-
Dell can tell you,
Yeah,
and I'm sure you can too, Riek.
I can, like,
he can tell himself, yes.
we can tell that, like, you'll go on forever about stuff that you're passionate about, which I love. Like, you know, when we had our Dragon Ball discussion for the last hour.
God.
Go on, he's back.
I'm not gonna bring that back. I was just saying as an example.
I'm just, yeah, go on.
Yeah, Gohan. Like, I'll talk to you later because I need to end this so I can grab dinner before it gets dark.
Yeah,
out.
that's fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'll get to our instructional thing and then I'll end the episode or end
Alright.
the stream. So thank you guys for everyone who came by today. Thank you, Del and Matt, for not killing each other. And Matt, thank you for having more fun Dragon Ball talk. Del, thank you for being the brains of this operation.
I mean, if that's what you want to call me, sure.
And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Final Fantasy VI.
Boy.
That's gonna be fun. But until then, this has been the Great Riek.
It's been Dell.
And I think it's Majin Matt on YouTube.
Yeah, it's Majin
Yes,
Matt
it
on YouTube, but you can just say Majin Matt or Matt. No, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
And we'll